Wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house all on the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new tin that baby built on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me who do you love? Who do you love? 7 miles of barbed wire. Now around the town, here's a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, baby, don't you give me no lip. Who do you love? Your love. I got a tombstone and a graveyard mine. I'm just 22 and I don't mind dying. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Ah, who do you love? Took her down by my hand. She said, Lonesome George, you don't understand. Who do you love? The night was dark and the sky was blue. Down the alleyway I swag and flew. Hit off bump and somebody scream. You should have heard just what I seen. Who do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Stone hat and graveyard mine. Just 22, baby, I don't mind dying. Snakeskin shoes, baby, put them on your feet. Got the good time music with the boogie beat. Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love? I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. Brand new house out on the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. I got a brand new chin, that mama bit on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, child. Tell me who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love?
Destroying your communist hymen with the fat dick of freedom. It's Post Politics. Back at it once again on a Sunday night. Sunday fun day.
Sunday. Yeah, man. I don't think we've used hymen on one of them yet, dude. I think that was a fresh.
That's a
if you will.
a fresh one, if you will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Pop that cherry.
But
so yeah, it's nice.
We got into. Yeah,
hold on, we did, but I just came across this. So we have never been blocked in all countries for content, right?
That's exactly what I was going to talk about.
We did just get blocked in all countries, and we got it for the Big J Okerson bit.
No way. That was what I was going to ask you. I don't know why I didn't ask you off air because I found out the next day.
Yeah, I didn't notice it because normally here's the reason is because I get every time we do a show for the most part, I get like a fucking copyright notice, right? And so if we're not playing anything to me that was like a big difference, right? I'm thinking like, all right, we're just going to be, it's the normal, hey, you got copyrighted material on your
right.
So
right.
I didn't really think anything of it. And it didn't click to me that, yeah, it was the first time we played anything by, Big J at all, anything like that. So I just didn't check it, And then, yeah, as I'm going on there and looking tonight and setting up the stream, I see that we've been blocked in all countries, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, really?" For Big J?
I thought it would have been for somebody like Black Crows, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's when I went back to it and was like, "What?" And I went back to it and looked, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, blocked for Big J."
I can
go ahead and remove it, and I can screw with it right now. I just didn't know. I didn't want to hit it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how it's going to remove it. That's kind of my thing. I don't know yet because we haven't done that yet.
Right.
So I don't know if it's going to remove it or if I need to just go in and mute it out.
The other question that I was going to ask you is like, did we get like a fucking like a flag notice or like a oh, you're fucked if you do this again?
No. It actually just tells us that like, hey, the warning that it gives me is actually just don't worry, you're not in trouble. It'll just be. Yeah, none of your future content is, going to be removed or anything like that. You just, this video will not be on there. You know what I mean?
Well, I was a little bit more selective because I did know that with our music and comedy tonight. But yeah, that's a major bug out, dude. And let me tell you, I mean, we could springboard this into, hey, we might as well go ahead and hit the intro. Right.
Deal.
And because that's definitely something worth us spending time on because it's a handful of companies. Like we play quote truly copyrighted music all the time.
All the time. And it's it tells me right here who it or what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's claimed by WMG. And so
WMG is one of them. Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that is like tied in. Now, here's the thing: the record labels are the ones that push that shit.
Yeah, it's not like Big J's like fuck them, they can't have our shit. You know what I mean?
Here's the other thing: is that other people, independent record labels, have like mega distribution, right?
Yeah.
They don't hold the rights. The distribution company doesn't hold the rights to it. So, like I said, we play something. I've got stuff from like Epitaph Records, punk rock, started by the guitar player of Bad Religion. In the late '80s, early '90s. That record label. Now they have like Psychopathic, like any ICP or branch of that shit. They have Sony distribution. But they're Psychopathic fucking records. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's all these mega conglomerate cocksuckers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, all right.
And what's funny is like, especially as comedians, go ahead and hit the intro.
Yeah, because
let's knock that out.
We can definitely rant on this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll rip the Big J conspiracy. I'll lay that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a Comedy Central thing, by the way. Which I will fucking lay. I've got.
That makes so much sense because I do know his history, but I don't know what you're going into on here. But that makes sense.
Viacom, which I think is Viacom too, by the way.
Which is a bunch of fucking cocksuckers.
I'm gonna go like 30 deep layers on your asses when we return. So stick around. Post politics coming next.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO Fighter, the show that gets America its balls back. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people love this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
When you're born absolutely free, except for laws of nature. If you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a you will bleed. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's post-politics with Truth Q.
All right, everybody back at it.
Woo!
Hey, Dennis. Dennis called.
Yeah, I could hear him beeping.
But man, I want to have some time.
Wait for
because he's got. Yeah. We like second hour is on like Donkey Kong, but we want to get off and run into the races here. So so we're dealing with this copyright thing. So our last thing, and we did like Uber fucking overdrive, and we did whatever that, like I saw, like it was like there's a 50-minute video of essentially you, Dennis, and I's Venom conversation.
Yeah, and actually, was just because what was weird is I actually lost connection with my broadcast server. That is what actually happened. Okay. I don't know why. It's never happened through anything else we've done. It didn't happen through here. It just literally, it was like, hey, we lost connection and then started over again, right?
That's weird.
And so I was like, all right, well, but what's funny is it actually happened right there where we usually would have ended the show.
Right.
So it's almost like it knew that, hey, this is only supposed to be 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it was just weird.
But
could have been a coincidence. But
I wanted to get off to the races on this shit because, like I said, as Zach mentioned, we got blocked in all countries for I just
removed it, so it's back up there now.
Okay, cool. So you won't hear that Jay Okerson bit.
Yeah,
but
that part will just be mute, basically.
Weird part is like there's only a select, like there's bands that are bigger than the bands that we've gotten notifications for.
Oh, yeah, a lot bigger. Yeah. So now, which leads us to, this was a Big Jay Okerson's shit is on Comedy Central. It was a Comedy Central album. Like David tells Skanks for the fucking memories, and what else? Like all Dane Cook's early shit. Yeah. There's a lot of people. Basically, all the guys that were really trying to break it big, that Comedy Central tried to like suck in, as comedy was like a really big fucking, like stand up was a really big deal.
They really like, because the 90s, other than like SNL reruns,
they tried to be the Disney of comedy is what happened. They tried to be the Walt Disney of comedy, and they got fucked on it because the internet created its own world for comedy.
Not only that, these comics were like, fuck you, I'm doing a podcast, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're looking at the most rebellious motherfuckers in society. Like, you're looking at the most fuck the system guys.
Here's this big, and I've got a big hang up about Comedy Central, like a big fucking hang up. Yeah. Okay, so and I'm gonna go into this because, like I said, it's super multi-layered here. All right,
yeah, I might actually have to step into the living room here in a second, but I got my headphones on. I can hear you, but
okay.
Obviously, you'll see me when I do it.
Like for one, okay, so I've got a Roku player, right? Now I have. Like right now I've got Comcast, okay, for my phone and internet, and cable shit. All right. Now I've also got a Roku player. So it's like usually now I can get like my Walking Dead replays and stuff like that, like all on the Roku player that I have in my room, you know, so I can just go into the channel and they go, oh, hey, what's your TV provider? Comcast. Okay, we're checking with Comcast to make sure that this is coming through a Comcast connection or whatever. Bam, there you go. There's your shit.
All right,
okay.
So real quick, I know you're doing your. I know you're on this small diversion and really just for selfish fucking needs here. I was thinking about getting Roku. I didn't look into it too much. I was like, fuck it, I'll worry about it some other time. So here's the deal though. Why would you get Roku if it's verifying your Comcast shit, right? Like, is it? And I'm confused. Like, is it only going to show you Comcast material? What's happening here?
No. What I'm saying is that
it just makes sure you're not like pirating your fucking signal.
I'm not even sure about that, but here's what I do know, and that's what I was going to explain here is, so I find out, I'm like, I can say I've got Comcast and they've got dozens and dozens of networks, you know, up there. There's like 100 different networks all across the country. Yeah, Comcast, the biggest.
But they're usually going to be. It's usually going to be a company like that, even if you've got a smaller network, right? It's going to be one of those bigger companies that really hosts it.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of shit that I've never even heard of, but they sign a deal with, you know,
with Comcast or with one of the bigger providers, right?
No. I'm telling you, they've got fucking Joe Bob Willie's fucking internet and cable service up.
Yeah, Mountain Range Digital. Yeah,
exactly. I swear to God, these are some of the ones from. But you cannot choose Comcast up there now, and that's only for the only one that I have that problem with is the Comedy Central thing. Here's the other thing: on demand, and that's what I mean by on demand. I go into, I can't unlock it through Comcast. Otherwise, I would get everything that Comedy Central offers now. And I hear that they do this on their like DVR platforms too with Comedy Central. They've got all of the comedy specials, which I don't give a fuck what Workaholics did this week or whatever. You know, I don't even know anymore.
Whatever show's been on that's not on. I know for a fact that Workaholics hadn't been on for like 5 fucking years, but I got you.
I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't watch shows on that.
Dude, I don't watch that fucking network. Actually, I got to be honest with you, man. My loyalty with that network slowed down a whole lot when Chappelle left.
In the past 10 years. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, Chappelle left put a real bad fucking taste in my mouth as far as fucking Comedy Central goes, dude.
Oh, Key and Peele, Amy Schumer, Nikki Glaser.
Oh,
you mean?
God, dude. Yeah.
You mean Chappelle's show?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, Dennis. All right, hold on. Hey, Dennis, you there? Dennis.
Yep.
What's up, dude?
You might as well take my call trip because I'm here and I'm not going anywhere.
That's fine.
And I might.
Hey,
am I the 10th caller?
Dennis, I'm really not gonna let you derail us tonight. You can fucking hang out and chime in when you want to.
I'm gonna try my best. Why don't we do that?
What? I'm saying I'm giving you fair fucking warning, and you know I love you.
No, we're fine. I love your show too. Commence without me even being here.
Dennis, I know where, and I wanted to give a plug to your shit. I wanted to make sure that we plug your shit and promote your shit tonight. So don't fuck it up. That's all I'm asking. You know, I love you.
Oh man, I love you too. Commence. Talk about yourselves without me.
Here we go. No, I mean you can chime in. Just
we're not refusing that you. We're not refusing to acknowledge you, bro.
I'm just gonna be quiet. And just hang out in the background. Thank you for taking my call.
All right.
Oh, bastard.
So anyway, right quick though, where we're going with that is that I only care about the comedy specials up there, right? Like I don't watch any fucking shows or
which really like a lot of comedians like won't go do Comedy Central anymore.
Right.
Like a lot of them just won't do it. Yeah.
Bring us to the next layer is that because I promoted
just peeling the onion, folks, peeling the onion.
Yeah, we're peeling the onion completely back on this one. Is that I have SiriusXM, And the only other show, like talk show, that I really give a shit about, other than Jim and Sam and Bennington, Ron Bennington, is the Bonfire with Big J and Dan Soder, which is the funniest fucking show. It really is the funniest fucking show.
No, I mean, if you like any of his stand-up, dude, you will absolutely love listening to the man in conversation.
It's great.
It's fucking amazing in conversation.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to any of the Bonfire stuff, it's just right up our alley. It's the funniest fucking thing going right now. But that is on the Comedy Central XM radio
under their little umbrella. Yeah.
Right. It's like one of two talk shows that they have on that Sirius XM Comedy Central channel, right?
Sort of like the Friday Night Super Show or Post Politics on this network. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, yeah, it's exactly like that. Now, Big J has ties, right, to Comedy
Big
Central.
Brother.
So he's
Illuminati.
Could you imagine if he's like, I'm not going to do my comedy
Taco Bell.
my comedy special on Comedy Central? Now, I said all that to say they don't unlock but maybe a couple. And all the guys that I do care about, you know, the Dan Soder special, the Big J Okerson special, David Tell, like there's a handful. They only unlock like 3. Okay? So during Wednesdays,
remember Insomniac show on Comedy Central? Do you remember that trip?
I met
Shit,
David
dude.
Tell when he came to Myrtle Beach.
I used to get my mother used to come in and turn that show off all the time because Zach wouldn't go to fucking bed because I was watching fucking Insomniac. Like, you have fucking school tomorrow. You can't stay up watching this fucking dipshit all night. Yeah.
Get drunk in a new city.
Getting drunk in a new city with stupid college kids. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
He's getting drunk while he's going to somebody that's picking up trash, like motherfuckers going to work.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking good. Like, sitting there, just watching a drunk Dave Attell talk with the hot dog guy on the side of the fucking street. You know what I mean? You're like, this is fucking
why
amazing.
are you doing his job? I don't know. I'm just saying,
good.
trying to make money. You know?
Yeah, it was
but
like
I'm drunk as fuck. Give me a hot
It was
dog.
like Dirty Jobs with that Ford guy, except for he was just inappropriate as fuck, right?
Right.
Wonderful.
But so you can't unlock some of these. They only have like a few on the Roku app, and I've heard from other people that it's the same way of Comedy Central on demand. If you have Comcast, like it's like I could go on to an on demand app and I can't access some of those.
Everything you're talking about right now, Trip, I don't have access to because obviously you're a baller. This motherfucker is selling records. So
selling records, selling records.
You know how many Dennis? You know
I'm gonna call somebody a baller and then refer to a thing that they have nothing to do with as to why they're balling. This motherfucker's over here balling. How many Teslas did you make this year? You know what I mean? You fucking asshole.
Listen, I got Grammys hanging above each one of my toilets. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a
I'll wipe
golden
my ass with Grammys for fun.
Right. I got a what are those Golden Globe Awards and shit right above.
No, it's like third
I got like four
because
ESPYs.
It's just, my shit won't work. I can't watch whatever I want to watch, and I have a problem with it. Like that's pretty. That's a problem. That's something that could be portrayed in the movie.
I got the same problem. I just don't vocalize them. That's all. I just don't say anything about them.
Hey,
look,
I've been smoking some good weed, and I don't want to talk about that either. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole different show. Like, what strain of weed you smoking? I don't even know, but it's really good. It's amazing. You should try it.
Yeah,
I'm not
because it's Friday. You ain't got no job.
Well, it's not Friday. It's Sunday, sir.
It's Sunday.
Well, either way.
Oh, that's why you were confused. I'm just fucking with you.
So what I'm saying here is that, okay, so like this leads us down to the Ari Shaffir thing. You know about that, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's the most important ace in the hole when it comes to this Viacom Comedy Central horseshit. Is that it goes Ari Shaffir made like probably the only actual show on other than South Park, I guess, on Comedy Central.
Chappelle Show.
which
Do
is
not forget the Chappelle Show.
that's old school shit. That's I'm meaning currently. Currently, oh my god, I can't believe I'm having a stump on the name of that show.
No, you mentioned Viacom. I don't think people really understand what Viacom is because that's the conglomerate. You know, that's what controls.
Yeah, no, Viacom is like basically like for people that talk about the Illuminati, like Viacom is
Viacom.
Yeah, Viacom is the fucking Illuminati. Like, I mean, for all intents for all intents and purposes, dude, fucking I like to when I say for all intents and purposes, I like to fucking emphasize on it so that people don't think I'm saying intensive purposes. You know what I mean? Like I know what Anyway, for all intents and purposes, Viacom is the Illuminati. Those motherfuckers, like, I mean, they absolutely control a crazy amount of what we fucking see, which is like
an octopus.
By the way,
which is insane.
When we do the callbacks to that whole thing, that was like a real big thing of waking me up and looking further into stuff is in 2008 when all that shit happened. In 2008, when all that shit happened, I was like, I'm pretty up to date on, like, you know, the government's bullshit and yada yada yada. But I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And Viacom was one of, like, you know, maybe 10 to 15 companies that swallowed a fucking whole shitload.
Viacom, they're like Monsanto, you know, like.
But they swallowed a whole.
They plant their seeds everywhere, and then they plant their seeds everywhere, and then they copyright the production of them. Absolutely. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. No, Viacom is literally they are literally the Walt Disney of fucking media.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
and Disney was one of those companies.
Oh, Disney, dude. Like, I mean, and especially they'll tell you, like, animators, like, that was my thing when I was going to school to be an animator, dude. Animating, like, the professors in those classes would tell you, they would go, listen, I don't give a fuck what they offer you. If you ever create a character and Disney offers you money for that character, for you to do a guest star on anything, do not fucking let your character be on any Disney fucking movie, because what they will do is they will give you a guest star. Like, if you look, the guy that created Eddie Bravo was a guy just like us, right? And he let his shit onto what was it, Hanna-Barbera or whatever? One of the similar, right? Let it go on to their deal as a guest star in another show, and what ended up happening is they claimed copyright for it because it appeared on their shit to begin with. So now they've stolen this kid's fucking character and they use him, and they don't pay the kid shit. And they just take the character for themselves, and now they make their own show.
I got a firsthand experience on some of this shit. So I go down, you know, I mentioned it before. What brought me to Florida was like, I was like, fuck you. I'm not living in my uncle's basement and working a shit job and going to school. Like, let me go down to Florida and see what's up down here. Because they came through when I was going to college at the time for business management, and they were like, hey, Disney college program, come down for 6 months. We'll give you college credits. You know, you just got to work for us and gain the experience. We put you up. You know, we take, you know, X amount of dollars out of your paycheck.
We love everybody. We're so sweet. I mean, if you look,
but
yeah, I mean, if you look, we have all these Disney, you know, Disney's a bunch of sweethearts, and we love kids.
Their contract, though, is like, and you don't have to be a fucking animator. Part of their contract is like if you say anything to anybody, or you have an idea that gets taken, like, the company just takes that, and you are not.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
No. Hold on and let me finish my point. Fucking, they said you will not take credit for any of this. Like, we don't owe you any compensation if this is something
for shit.
Benefits the company. And you're like a waiter at a restaurant in a Disney. You know what I mean?
Work at McDonald's.
Right. Yeah, you're the McDonald's employee of Disney, basically.
Yeah, you're not even the fry fucking cook. You're like the guy that boxes the fries. Like you don't matter at all.
Right.
No, thank you, Zach. This is what I was trying to get to. Just give me a second here. This is what I was trying to get to. We're not those people. We're not the people you're describing. You know what I'm saying? We do radio shows. We bring to the table what a lot of other people cannot do, Trip and Zach. Trust me. A lot of people cannot do, you know, even being drunk or being, you know, doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You really have to apply your time to do what we do. That's why I take it so passionately and appreciate it.
Was that like a throwback to your dude or what?
No, I'm just saying, like, you really have to approach it at that level.
I got it.
Either way,
he's picking it up.
Either way, like I said, people go to work every day. We all have to go to work. I don't give a fuck what you're doing in life. You have to go to work. You have to make money. I'm in a position, you know what I'm saying? Every day I'm not the happiest person of all time, but look at everything I've done. You know what I'm saying? I changed the game when it came to social media and podcasts, radio shows, this show. You know? Look me up. Check me out. That's important.
Dennis, we gotta hit break, and I'm gonna let you go.
Either way. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap it up here tonight. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yo,
Dennis,
we gotta plug your shit, man, because I'm super psyched, and we've been talking about it. And Dennis has got his own show coming up.
Badass.
His shit.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
We are Venom.
For those of you that know,
dude,
Dennis,
hey, I got some Venom shit that you probably want to hear, Dennis. But I'll hit that after the deal.
Yeah, I mean, this is not post politics. This is just me doing my own thing, and I'm
no. This is post politics. You
doing your own show.
You're doing your own thing is going to be a different thing,
right?
But yes.
Yeah, that's what it's like comic book. We gotta have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
we got that. We got to have some spin-offs, bro.
Dennis Ford is
exactly.
Post politics universe is what we're trying to say.
Either way.
I think we're all in the J Rev universe, and he falls under like the post politics universe. Like we have like the X-Men, and so he like you know what I mean, like he. You know what I mean? Like they were in it, but but Wolverine's got his own comic. You know what I mean? Like you can't have just
ain't gonna show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And by the way, I mean they're brothers now, so we already covered that.
Right. But Dennis, when are you planning on getting that jumped off, dude? We talked a little bit about it off air, but you got like
next
a time frame? Next month.
Yeah, next month, second week of May, before Memorial
Man, next
Day
month
weekend.
Is like fucking tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like Tuesday.
Yeah, it's coming up like 2 weeks from May happening. It's kind of crazy because I'm bringing back my own show, and my mom passed away 2 years in May 6th.
Nice.
So
it's like a little anniversary type of deal.
No, I'm saying it took me this long, Zach, to get back to where I need to be at.
Yeah, but
and that all rhymes. And I'm a rapper. You didn't know that.
But, no, I didn't. But I'm sure we'll find out in 2 weeks.
No, 2 years. It took me that long to get back.
No, but I mean, you're doing your show in 2 weeks. Is what I was getting at. You're not gonna do your show. You're not gonna do your show in 2 years. That would be a hell of a fucking warm up.
No, I'm saying the future. A couple weeks, just 2 weeks into May. I want both of you guys to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? If you can, just show up on the show.
I actually got myself in trouble on Friday because I was gonna call in. I was listening, but
it was a good show Friday.
No, I was, dude. I was enjoying it, and then me and fucking Sam were like hanging out, and then I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna call the Friday Night Super Show for a little bit," and she was like, "For real? Like right now? Like you're gonna?" And I was like, "Yeah, just for a little bit," and she was like, "You don't ever fucking do that for a little bit. That doesn't never happen for a little bit, you know."
By the way,
we got into the argument, right? And at the end of the argument, she was like, "Nah, it's cool. I understand. Go ahead and call him." And I was like, "Well, now I'm not in the fucking mood." You know,
like I used to do the same shit with Britt. Like that's the power of the Friday Night Super Show. By the way, is like I just had to become just like a part of it.
Yeah, for you to be able to fucking.
And like this show,
hey, y'all tell me.
A part of this
y'all
show.
tell me. Hey, listen, I need y'all to fucking give me like a part, and it doesn't have to be official. You know what I mean? But that way, I can fucking be like, listen, they need their fucking. Yeah, they need their. They need their co-writer, manager, airtime fucking guy right now. I gotta be there on Fridays now. I don't have a choice. I didn't want to, but Trip and Dennis made me. You know.
But like I said, the other thing about that was like I mean, Dennis, tell me I'm wrong, dude. But like I would tell my wife, I'd be like, All right. Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm just going to call in for like 15, 20 minutes and hang out with the guys.
Every time I've said 15 or 20 minutes, dude, I end up being on there for 2 fucking hours. And I look like a dick. And that's the only time that I'm wrong about what the fuck I say, right? Like, anytime I say what I, like, oh, listen, I'm going to do this, I'm always on point with it, right? But when I call the fucking show and I'm like, hey, dude, I'm just going to call for like 15 minutes.
Right.
I don't want to get off after 15 minutes, you know, like a little fucking kid, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hanging out with my friends.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you love.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. And then, so I knew that's what pissed me off even more, that I didn't want to call after that, because I was like, no, if I get on now, I'm still going to be on for 2 hours. But then she gets to rub it in my face that I was on for 2 hours. And then I would have, I don't want to make it right again.
I'm saying, when it comes to the Friday Night Super Show, we have a whole superhero code or something that's going on, right? It's the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, dude. Well, no, and y'all were even talking about the Four Horsemen. Y'all were even talking about, Lee was talking about the Four Horsemen, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking call. And then I was like, nah, and I was in a bad mood after that because we fucking argued about it, and so I didn't fucking call. So that was a little peep into that. I don't even
definitely.
But all right, Dennis, hey, man. Hey, for real, like.
I'm out, man. We'll talk about some
no,
stuff
but
in
hey,
the future.
But keep fucking tuning in and fucking calling on the second hour, dude. We'll be
I
fucking.
love the show. I was listening to the whole show before I called in. I'm not a part of the show. I just appreciate what you guys do and what you bring to the table.
Dennis, stay in touch with me, man, because we'll make sure to have like carve out a whole deal for you.
Yeah, we
show that
just
we have.
Me and you.
Starts.
Not me and Zach, but just me and you.
We
need to work out shit.
Did you what happened? What happened? What was that all about, bro? Huh?
No, we're gonna talk about hip hop. I don't think you're really into hip hop, but we're gonna do a hip hop show.
You don't think I'm into hip hop? Get out of here, bro.
Hold on, Zach. Dennis and me have been talking about it for a long time.
I know I'm fucking with y'all, dude. Chill.
You do a good job of explaining it, but me and Dennis have been talking about doing like the 2 shows that me and Dennis want to do. We want to do a podcast or a broadcast on
show in general,
a nothing but wrestling show and a nothing but hip hop show. And
that's true.
Me and Dennis will do that soon.
I'll call in for the hip hop show, but I might not even listen to the wrestling show. I gotta be honest with y'all. I love y'all,
but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but
no, I mean I didn't think y'all were like pledging for my listenership. You know what I'm saying,
guys?
That needs to happen though. We've been talking about that for 2 years. Trip is right. We've been talking about that for a while. That needs to happen. I don't care. Outside of that, I don't really care about.
I do good.
Whatever show.
Yeah. No, I mean I got you,
Dennis. We're gonna roll out, bud.
Sonic booming
I'm good.
The
I'm
camera
good.
screen.
Thank you both. I love you both. Keep doing what you're doing. Post politics. Guess what? Friday night coming up. Friday Night Super Show right here on J-Rev Radio. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just tune into the same show.
Just wait.
On Friday night.
You just sit
wait.
here until
just
Friday.
Give us a couple of days.
Just listen he plays. All right.
And we love everybody. Peace out.
Love,
I'm out.
Deuce.
All right, there goes Dennis. Everybody. Oh, he was in rare fashion tonight.
Oh man, he was a little blazed and maybe a little tipsy there.
Drunkard.
Yeah, maybe tossed a few back. Either way, dude. God, man, I fucking love that
Much
guy.
love to Dennis. And I can't wait for that show to start because a lot of people don't know that listen to our show anyway that know Dennis from whether
Friday
it be
Night
for
Super
Friday
Show or
night,
calling in, yeah.
Or calling into here, but Dennis did a really good that NWO Truth Radio show.
Yeah, dude, that's where I started talking to him.
That was like 6-7 years ago, man. So it was a good show. So I'm happy for him to do whatever kind of incarnation of that he's got lined up.
Yeah, that was back when I didn't know what the fuck he looked like, except for I just thought he looked like Deadpool. I didn't even know.
Right.
I didn't know what he looked like at all.
All right, guys. We've got Bill Hicks lined up for Carlin's Corner tonight, and let's see what's the other shortest song.
We don't ever get blocked for fucking Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. So yeah, we'll do that and some NoFX on the back end. So stay tuned. More
NoFX, yes,
coming in. Much love. Stay tuned.
I have this feeling, man, because you know there's a handful of people actually run everything. That's true. It's provable. It's not a I'm not a conspiracy nut. It's provable. Handful, very small elite run and own these corporations, which include the mainstream media. I have this feeling who's ever elected president, like Clinton was, no matter what your promises you promise on the campaign trail, blah, 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 when you win, you go into this smoky room with the 12 industrialists, capitalist scumfucks who got you in there, and you're in this smoky room, and this little film screen comes down, and a big guy in a cigar, roll the film, and it's a shot of a Kennedy assassination from an angle you've never seen before. It looks suspiciously off the grassy knoll. And then the screen goes up and the lights come up and they go to the new president. Any questions? Just what my agenda is. First we bomb Baghdad. You got it. But we've got to come to some new ideas about life, okay? I'm not being facetious about abortion. It might be a real issue, it might not. It doesn't really matter to me, because what matters is, if you really believe in the sanctity of life, then you believe it for people of all ages. That's what I hate about this fucking child worship syndrome going on around there. Take the children. Take the children. How many children were in the wake of the children? Hey, what does that mean? They reach a certain age, they're off your fucking love list? Fuck your children, if that's the way you feel. Fuck you with them. You either love people in general from all ages, or you shut the fuck up. Bill, what kind of philosophy is this, Bill? I don't know. I'm chasing this philosophy like a hound. I don't know where it's heading. Trying to treat it, you know. Who are you? Tell me what you give kids now. Who are you? I'm me. It's true. Shut the fuck up. Quit thinking you're gonna fucking make the world better by bringing more little fucking cabbages to the planet. Why don't you try loving the people that are already fucking here, okay? Instead of living for a future that never fucking comes. It doesn't exist. It ain't coming. There is no future. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. You're our future. The children are our future. There's no such thing, asshole. Take some mushrooms and squeegee your third fucking eye. Oh my God, there is only this moment.
This road I'm on just goes on forever. I don't know when I'll be back your way.
The argument doesn't work with me, Flapjack. Go back to your fucking crackerjack lifestyle, and I'll meet you at the evolution bell curve. I'll be sitting there a while. It's kind of a tortoise in the hare story. That's Bill waiting for people to catch up. We think science is going to save us, Bill. Oh, fuck.
It's so easy to defend the status quo. Everyone's so cruel and cynical. When you see the end, don't justify the means. It's just that 180 degrees. Great thing about being a human, the ability to reason. Pretending don't work when no one cares. 2.7 1 despair.
right, everybody, we're back at it. Post politics. Oh man. All right. So, just to wrap up
All right.
that whole.
I'm here, but I got to step out for a second, so you're good. So keep rolling.
Okay. But yeah, just right quick. We left off. Ari Shaffir actually made the show This Is Not Happening, which is like one of the only good shows. It's really like, other than South Park, like the only good show on Comedy Central. And it's comedians telling real life stories. Each one. Go check it out if you haven't. They're uncensored and everything else. But I really, really like hearing this. It's a very unique thing where it's like, okay, we all know storyteller comedians and like what they bring to the table, but this is like designed for comics that aren't even storytellers.
Yeah, no, it's a awesome show. Actually, to tell you the truth, I was watching an old show 2 days ago, I think, and it was just because I watched so I've got playlists, right? Well, I mean, not playlists, but I've got like little cycles of people that I follow on YouTube, and so Rogan, Ari Shaffir, fucking Tom Segura, fucking Bert Kreischer, all those guys are guys that I watch on YouTube and on Instagram, and so Ari every now and then will go like his, the next video that comes after an Ari video will be fucking This Is Not Happening or something like that. It'll pop up, and ended up watching one the other day, and it's fucking hilarious. And every now and then I catch The Amazing Racist, which is fucking hilarious because I forget that he even did The Amazing Racist fucking years ago.
Yeah. So Ari, and he did Paid Regular, which was his first real like comedy special that he got. It was on Comedy Central. He got friendly with them, and then so he's got a producer credit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ari Shaffir still gets paid from This Is Not Happening, but for the past season or two, he has not hosted it, and he has not had anything to do with it, even though he still gets paid from it, because he got pissed off that like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, here's the other thing about Comedy Central. Other than that, like I said, that on-demand shit that they have is totally fucked, and they never show replays anymore.
No, fuck them anyway. No, they're not, because I remember, and they've been doing that for years, because here's the deal, dude.
It gets aired for the weekend.
Yeah, dude. When I
never fucking play it again.
When I went to prison, when I came back, I was trying to watch the fucking season of South Park that played while I was locked up, and I fucking couldn't. I had to find it on YouTube because fucking goddamn Comedy Central, their fucking on demand does not fucking play their actual old shit, which is bullshit, because episodes or seasons 1 through current should be on fucking, especially of South Park. That's their biggest show they've ever fucking done. Sure. Right, so like, why is South Park's first season through current not available on demand on fucking Comedy Central? That should be,
honestly, like, I was still buying the DVD, so I've got like the first 7 or 8 seasons on DVD.
No, well, I mean, I'm not gonna get into details, but there was an asshole that got rid of a lot of the shit that I used to own. But I had 1 through, I think, I want to say like 7 or 8 on there. I think they're on like 12 or some shit. They're like maybe 13 now. Are they like 16?
South Park?
Oh no, because they were like, I was in high school, so they're in like 20. Yeah, okay.
97.
God, dude, that was such a good show. No, but I just thought about it, and it was like, fuck, my mom hadn't even passed away yet when I was watching South Park, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, because I remember like, actually, that was one of the first cartoons that my mother was like, this is really intelligent. Like, I remember my mom like watching it, and because if you just see clips of it, right, you're like, this is fucking dumb. Right, but if you see an entire episode, you're like, "Oh, this is really fucking smart."
Well, yeah, like we've said that for years. Like, that's the only show, the only way for it to have gone this long is to do a libertarian-esque social experiment on whatever the hot topic.
Well, especially because you can't talk politics and be a Republican or Democrat and remain consistent. Like it's impossible.
Possible because those two platforms are not consistent.
I mean, if you look at here's the two biggest conservatives that I actually watch, that I actually watch on a regular, is Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
But those two guys, they actually get away with being conservatives because they fucking hit this little niche where they claim to be libertarian and claim to be conservative. And that's how they get away with it. Because if they actually claim to be straight real conservative, what they do is they act like libertarians and then claim conservative. I will say Steven Crowder's more of a conservative, like the traditional conservative, than Ben Shapiro is, which is funny because Ben Shapiro's like your Orthodox fucking Jew and fucking still doesn't, like, is still to me more of a libertarian than Crowder is.
Right. So that's what I mean about like the social policies of things.
Yeah.
It's very libertarian. To listen to those guys, it's very libertarian.
No, I mean if you listen to Crowder, there's times when he does the what is it? Man, I'm on the spot, can't remember it. But the I'm pro gun fucking
they changed my mind thing.
Yeah, changed my mind. All right. Well, there's actually one when he's talking pro life where he actually refers to the non-aggression principle in the I'm pro life, change my mind. On that episode, he refers to the non-aggression principle. Now, if you were to actually call him on this, and that's why I think that you don't ever see the guy actually argue with a libertarian anarchist, right? Or anybody of that nature, is because of the fact that, but if you were to follow that non-aggression principle out, then wouldn't you have to throw away some of the things that you do defend? But on that change my mind shit, he's very good at debate and very good and consistent, extremely consistent. But I think that a lot of the times, like, you look at his drug enforcement things and things like that of that nature. He doesn't have a problem with saying that some drugs should be illegal. Well, then don't quote the non-aggression principle, because people that do the most heinous drug in the world, people that do the drug that you don't like the most, are not violating the non-aggression principle. So that's one of those things that just sucks.
I'm telling you, because I was so like, fuck these people trying to, eugenics. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want that shit tried on me, but I also know that I'm in intellectually, like I'm not trying to put myself any place I shouldn't be. Yeah. I know that I am intellectually above, to be fair, 75% of the people out there.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, to tell you the truth, like even if you do not have, all right, like here's my deal. Like, I actually wanted to ask him, which I know he doesn't reply to a lot of his YouTube comments, right? Which makes sense because he gets so much fucking hate on there. Sure. But like as far as, I wanted to ask on my view on abortion, because one of my views on abortion is a problem that I wrestle with on abortion, is that because I believe it's so morally wrong, I wish that there was a way to say fucking inherently, hey, listen, fucking no, even logically abortion is fucking wrong, right? But to me, it's like, no, I can say it's morally wrong, but logically I can't argue it, because it is like, you can give the example of, but in what situation is it ever okay for another human being to live parasitically off of another human being? And it's not. And so that's my thing. That's the only issue that I ever have with abortion, is that I will say, like, listen to me, I can say right now, you must refer to it as murder, because of the fact that to kill someone is to end something's life, right? Is to pacify a life, right?
Right.
And to murder is to do so with intent. So absolutely, you did so with intent. That's murder. So I'm not going to argue that is absolutely, that's murder. My biggest issue is that, yes, but to that mother that does not want that child, then it is parasitically living off of them. And in what fucking right does she not have?
Is anybody cold? No. So what do you do? You do your best to get rid of the fucking bacteria. I get that. And the thing that
it's an internal struggle with me. You know what I mean?
The thing both of us stand by as a show. This is something that I know that I can speak for you on too. Is like, what do we do And I know it's an old hat for people, but we do our part. We fucking get it. What do we do? Not kill our kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
And any other thing, here's where I really fucking get abortion, pro-abortion people. Like, I'm not going to say pro-choice people. I'm saying pro. There, a lot of these people are just pro-abortion at this point. Here's where I get pro-abortion people, where I'm like, does the father have any right? Does all these people are like, it's a woman's choice. We've heard that since Roe v. Wade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Since forever. Like, it's a woman's choice. Well, what if, and here's something that you're starting to hear more of. What does the father have to say about it?
Yeah, what if the man wants to do it? Yeah.
If the man wants that woman to have that kid, now, while he's not the host for life of that.
No, but you're not next. I mean, but the host for life, right? Like, I mean, you're not the host for life. Like, I mean, ultimately, after the child is born, you could ultimately be done.
Right. Hey, how about I fucking I would like to present that argument. Hey, how about I pay you $2,000 to house this kid for 9 months, and then you don't have to fucking worry about it.
Well, I mean,
anymore.
let's be honest though.
Because pro-abortion bitches don't want that fucking shit on their conscience once they see the fucking kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean that's absolutely the thing, and
real anti-abortion stance is
and I think that there's a certain point like that we all have in our heads, right? That we tend to, and I won't say, when I say we, I'm not necessarily talking about me or you, but I will say that before we started thinking more with internal dialogue and debating ourselves and things like that, I think that you've got to admit, right? Like when you've done something wrong that you don't want to admit is wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's one of those things of like, they aren't trying to outright say it's okay to abort. They just don't want to be the villain in their own head. You know what I'm saying? And so they're just arguing against it, and they need somebody to logically fucking defeat them on that. And I think there are people like that out there. Now, there are people that are going to refuse you regardless. Even if you present them with the most logical fucking thing in the world, they are going to say, fuck you. But even then, on that episode, for anybody that's seen it, I'm not going to go into details on it, but on the I'm pro-life fucking change my mind, right? On that episode, the woman that he's actually talking to was taking medication that alters your nerves, right? And that medication, what was happening is that the fetus that was developing inside of her, she watched the cardiac cells of that fetus die. Every time she went into the doctor, it would be like, hey, there's 4 cardiac cells. Well, now there's 3, now there's 2, now there's 1. And she went ahead and had the abortion. And because she was like, the baby is indefinitely going to die. I am ending it because I don't want to watch this anymore. All right. Now, to me, I would say in that situation, I don't even believe that's necessarily abortion. I get what you're saying. Yes, that's still an abortion, but I would actually refer to that as an abortion and not a murder. Whereas like on the regular, yes, it's a murder. Yeah. On that you're aborting that fetus because that fetus life is definitely going to perish. You are just preventing it from happening in the way that it was supposed to.
It's no different than people that find it more humane to take your dog out and shoot him in the head, or to take him
like, hey, look, my dog can't walk anymore because his back legs don't fucking work. I'm gonna go ahead and pop him in the fucking skull.
Miserable, he's shitting himself. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, hey, for the same fucking reason that if I'm laying in a hospital on fucking life support, I want somebody to pull the fucking plug. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of shit. So to that situation, the situation that the woman and him are actually talking about, and now he was a very zero fucking tolerance on it. Like, even then, abortion's not okay. To me, like, no, okay, listen, if the fetus is going to die regardless, I don't see a fucking issue. Like, that's craziness. Like, to me, that's now you're just going beyond illogical, and you're making an ideological fucking argument. Not a logical argument, right? Like now it's I believe abortion is wrong and blah, blah, and so nothing you say can change that. Where this one situation definitely makes it a little bit different, right? The cardiac cells are dying, no heart will ever be formed, so that's actually that child is going to perish. So I don't see why you would not have an abortion in that circumstance. Now, the same woman that he is arguing with, he brings out a chart and says, at what stage in this is should you abort? She goes all the way to 9 months. fuck you, you sorry bitch. No, dude, that is a little baby. And 9 months, dude, you could cut your fucking stomach open and that kid's gonna fucking be a kid.
At 7 months.
No, but I'm just saying at what she said, even she was saying no, not even at 9 months. Well, fuck you then, dude. Like, okay, well then why can't you kill your 3-year-old? You know what I mean? Right. Like, no, dude, the woman doesn't, hey, listen, this kid's a pain in my ass.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Why can't I just take him to the doctor?
Really late-term abortions.
Why can't I just take him to the doctor and have somebody slit his throat? I'm really tired of this shit. You know what I mean? Like and it's one of those things that people will look at what I just said and be like, oh, that's cold-hearted. And you're like, well, what's the difference in what I just said and what that woman said? There's no difference in it. And that's the problem.
Actually, there's kind of a lot of a difference.
Well, exactly. At least I'm arguing for the fact that the kids should live. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. When you look at it in that frame of reference. So, and like I said, my only gig with that is like, I'm pro-choice in that I don't like it.
Yeah, but I don't see how having women do it in back alleys with fucking coat hangers is going to improve the situation. Yeah.
And Planned Parenthood, and certainly my dollars shouldn't go towards that.
Fuck no. Yeah.
I mean, that's, you want to bring up shit with taxes. Most Americans don't like the fucking wars that we get into.
Yeah.
Then the next biggest thing is probably a Planned Parenthood type of, like, I don't
those
like
kind of organizations. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like my fucking money going towards
Well, I mean, I gotta, and now I'm very, very much summarizing here because it's been probably 6 years since I've read it, but in Dr. Ron Paul's book Liberty Defined, the very first chapter is abortion, and what he is saying in there is he goes, listen, I am pro-choice to the effect that I believe that only a moral society can fix the issue with abortion. I don't believe that preventing women from doing it, because we've shown on the black market that anything people want to do, they are going to do. If people want heroin, they're going to do heroin. It doesn't matter how illegal you make it. So if people want abortions, they are going to have abortions. It doesn't matter if you make it illegal or not.
You get people that,
and so it's one of those things of, listen, I believe that it's safer for the mother and the child if the abortion is at least done in a fucking doctor's office, but if it's done by some fucking asshole, fucking, hey, I'm going to punch you in the stomach enough for the baby not to live, that kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, like, yes, I believe that only a truly moral society can solve the issue that we have with abortions. And I agree with him on that. And if you don't, then you don't truly believe in the differences of libertarianism and what the black market is and how that shit works, because it is. That's the way that shit goes down, is that if people want to do something, they're going to do it regardless. Now, we have to put laws on things or put restrictions on things like murder and things like that, because there needs to be some kind of compensation for the people that are murdered and for the people that are where those bad things happen. But we aren't stupid enough to think that making murder illegal will stop murder. You know what I mean? And so, and exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing, is that, like, listen, we know that people are going to do these things, whether you make them illegal or not. The idea of them being illegal is to compensate the people who are wronged by these, by these crimes. So I think there's a lot of shit, though, that most of these people, I mean, if you look at Ben Shapiro, to go back to what we were talking about, you go look at Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, things like that. These guys make it as calling themselves conservatives by playing to the libertarian fringe of conservatism, and that's the only way that they could still exist. Because if they were just outright Trump supporter fucking conservatives, they would be gone next election cycle.
About those guys, I honestly do believe that on an issue to issue basis, they do have libertarian leaning fucking.
No, I don't doubt. I'll tell you right now, dude. There's only 3 people that I listen to. That doesn't mean there's only 3 people that exist out there that are like this, but there's only 3 people that I listen to that I do 100% believe that they 100% believe what they are saying. Yeah. And that's those 3 guys: Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, and then Jordan Peterson. And now Jordan Peterson, I do not throw into the conservative thing and not to say that he's not conservative, but I don't throw it into there because I don't believe that he claims the conservative badge is applied to his philosophy. But I believe that his philosophy just happens to be conservative, if that makes sense.
I mean, not only that, but the way that the rest of countries different countries, medias are presenting him. It's like how Jordan Peter. I swear to God, I came across a legitimate article today from like a NBC something or another that was like how Jordan Peterson became the new poster boy for the alt-right or whatever. And it's like,
dude,
like
you're like, what the fuck?
On ropes and going like, I don't.
Yeah, fuck these guys. Yeah, no. I mean, here's the thing. I watched the. There was a deal where it had. He was speaking at a college, and they had some guy that was like, "How do you feel about the Nazi presence at your rally or at your speech or whatever?" And he was like, "I don't like it." You know what I mean? He was like, "But what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? How do I stop these people?"
You want me to do what the left does?
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, will you apologize for it?" He was like, "But I didn't do it. I didn't." Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though.
You want me to just like completely like just negate that, like, oh well, people shouldn't have free speech the same way the left does. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm telling you right now, I don't agree with them, but if they show up, like, I don't want any trouble, but I don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, hey, dude, they aren't starting any shit.
Go to a concert or a comedy show and fucking, you will find, I guarantee, very deferring realms of musical taste, political taste, etc. You'll find
probably dudes at your next Chappelle show that say nigger, nigger, nigger all the time. And they'll be in the audience watching Dave Chappelle. That shit fucking happens. It doesn't mean that Dave Chappelle invited those fucking racist sons of bitches. Right. That's not, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing, is that you've got to realize that that's not the way that shit works. It's not, and these people aren't inviting those people there just because these guys agree with what he's saying.
The past couple years, dude, the collectivism has really killed everything.
Oh God!
When we started,
and it's growing, right?
When we started this shit, we were so much on the cusp of like getting everybody in line with individualism, with a common set of ideals that was very fringe. Because yes, we carry the economic stability. We know what that is. All were anti-war, and everybody was like, hey, whatever you want to put in your body, go for it. Just don't expect me to fucking pay for it. And like, for some odd reason, we've come to like fringe groups of collectivism. And I say for some odd reason, there's no shadow of a doubt, like social media, mainstream media.
Absolutely. Well, and the party's changed, right?
They pinned everybody to go, we're making fringe groups now. I mean, 1,000 people that believe in non-gender binary finger fucking
well,
whatever.
I mean, it's one of those things that you look at like, dude,
flat earthers, and you know what I'm saying, dude?
Well, it's one of those debates that you're listening to. Like, I was listening to people arguing about fucking AIDS, right? And you had this guy talking about the epidemic of AIDS, and the guy's like, wait, what epidemic? And he's like, well, there's an epidemic. And he was like, wait, in comparison to what? In comparison to what epidemic? In comparison to cancer? In comparison to diabetes? In comparison, in comparison to fucking diabetes, dude. Yeah. In which way is AIDS an epidemic? And they were like, oh, well, it happens to a lot. And he was like, listen, if you're not gay, it's almost non-existent. And if you are gay, it really only persists so much in the party crowd of gay folks. Like, so if you start looking at it like, dude, this isn't like... you don't just get it from being gay, right?
Statistically, that is the two most common denominators are intravenous drug users and
homosexuals
and gay male.
Yeah, and even then, but when you no, and that's just statistics. That's not a Zach claims it's a
everybody that does that.
No, and that's what I'm saying though too is here's the deal. If you're gay and you practice unsafe sex on a regular fucking basis, you are more inclined to get that.
Than anybody else out there.
Exactly. You are the most at risk group, and that's just the way it is. It's not to say that if you're gay you're going to get it, because there are plenty of people that are gay that don't like just fuck different dudes every night. You know what I mean? That's the difference, and the statistics on that are fucking like
Out the line.
Yeah. I mean, they're way out there.
Undeniable.
Exactly. So when you claim like, oh, the epidemic, it's like, wait the fuck, hold on, dude. Like the epidemic, it's not an epidemic. You're fucking using some fear words right there that make people think that you're gonna get AIDS if you fucking see some blood tomorrow. Like,
Right.
and that's just not the fucking case. That's not how that fucking works.
Like I said, that was the case like in the 80s, just because like nobody knew.
Yeah, nobody knew what was going on.
Everybody's
And-
like, just don't touch me, motherfucker. You're like,
Absolutely.
You know,
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with when you look at like these, you look at the statistics now that they seem to be teetering towards race, right? Like now it's all racial shit that's coming on. And when you
Right.
look at it, it's like, wait a second though, dude.
Is the racial bias the fucking AIDS of the 2000s?
It is. It is. It is because you're like, wait a second though, dude. Like I mean, and listen, a guy that I just recently became friends with on Instagram, right? And I'm pretty sure that me and him are gonna bump heads a lot now, right? He's a black guy, but he very much liked the shit that I was saying at one point, right? But then me and him start talking, and I'm like, well, we might not.
There's
Like, you very much like this unity talk when I'm talking towards the white folks, but now that I'm talking to you, you might not like it as much.
Right, exactly. There's so much of that out there that people don't, and we got to hit break, but there's so much of that out there where it's like, it's funny when I attack. I see that shit all the time.
We called it what? We called it a year and a half ago, right? We said, hey, listen, all those people that hated us before, it's going to be reversed now.
Right. Yeah. Like I attack the left people and they go like, they'd love to go like, yeah, well, here's your president. And they show some bullshit Donald Trump meme. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like you got to nice try, but like you got the wrong guy here. You know what I mean? And so it's like this whole deal where people have like chosen these sides. And it's like, guess what? I can say fuck Trump and fuck you. Dude, lefty, you fucking communist. Fuck Trump and fuck you, commie, in the same sentence, and I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just people, for some odd reason, that just blows fucking. I mean, really, it blows fucking people's minds when it comes to that shit. They're left fucking really with their dick in their hand, dumbfounded. And
like, no, you have to be lying for the argument type of shit.
No, and it's like, I'm not trolling you here, dude. I'm telling you, like, just because I'm saying fuck your argument doesn't mean I'm a Trump supporter. Well, how could that possibly? And then their fucking watermelon brains leak out their fucking ear onto the keyboard or their phone or whatever it is. So, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm sorry I don't fit the mold of, like, what you've been taught the fucking in your little meme war fucking shit box that you've been hotboxing for the past fucking however many years. But like, there's a lot of people out there that think a lot differently. And like, for us, it's an issue to issue basis. For us, you would say that we have more quote unquote conservative leanings, but you ask us a different question about something, we might come off as, very quote unquote left leaning on some things as well. But fuck these
I
people.
can guarantee that we will.
Fuck these people in their one track minds. Go fuck your mother. If you want to hear what we got to say about it, we're here twice a week.
It's always, and actually you can always check on it if you don't hear it right now. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we got our YouTube channel up. You can go fucking access that shit at any given moment. But all right, we're gonna hit break and we'll be right back, everybody. About 7 minutes, 8 minutes.
Yep.
So stay tuned. More post politics coming up next. Second hour official kickoff. Yippee yo, number one.
I'm the one that can't get it. I'm the one that can't see. But I know there are people out there who don't get it like me. I'm the one that's uncertain. with honesty. I took the lashing for being way too into me. Call me selfish if you want, and I totally agree. But isn't it your selfishness that keeps you coming at me? And I'm the one that can't get it. I'm the one that can't see. But I know there are people out there who don't get it like me. I'm the one that's uncertain. I'm the one that can't tell if this dream's all that's cracked up to be, or another version of hell. I've opened up now. I broke the silence with honesty. I took the lashing for being way too into me. Call me selfish if you want, and I totally agree. Isn't it your selfishness that keeps you coming at me? You could have your cake and eat it too, if you only knew you weren't doomed to that fate. You could have your cake and eat it too, as long as you ask, don't just take, if it's on someone else's plate. I'm the one that can't count it. I'm the one that can't see. But I know there are people out there who don't get it like me. I'm the one that's uncertain. I'm the one that can't tell if this dream's all that's cracked up to be, or another version of hell. I've opened up now. I broke the silence with honesty. I took the lashing for being way too into me. Call me selfish if you want, and I totally agree. Isn't it your selfishness that keeps you coming at me? It keeps you coming at me, and you could have your cake and eat it too, if you only knew you were doomed to that fate. Yeah, you could have your cake and eat it too, as long as you ask, don't just take, if it's on someone else's plate. And you could have your cake and eat it too, if you only knew you were doomed to that fate. Yeah, you could have your cake and eat it too, as long as you ask, don't just take, if it's on someone else's plate.
Man, this shit is crazy. All I'm trying to do is live. I try to help out where I can, I always try to give. But every time I step out the house, it's like a war zone. People running and screaming and busting on my dome, throwing bricks, talking shit, and hawking spit. All because of how I look and how I walk and live. One kid even walked up and straight up just slapped me. I cut his throat and returned to being happy, cause I'm still alive. Still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a smile on my face. Still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a style.
I got this place right on Knox and 38. I got a nice view of the street, but it ain't safe. You see, you pass me by all day. On the way to work, you find me with the sign, I need $1 cause I'm hurt. And I lost my job, man, and my pockets unload. I keep on moving so I get my box and go. But this life is fucking tight, I'm fucking breathing right. And if I'm dead, I'm dying high, cause I'm still alive.
Still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a smile on my face. Still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a smile on my face.
It ain't shit, man. See, what y'all don't realize is shit really ain't that bad, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you a little story of something that happened to me. It went a little bit like this. It's like,
I got shot in my face like twice. The shitty part about it is who did it. Yeah, it was my wife. I didn't slap her or attack her. I just stood there and laughed and grabbed my face up off the ground and started putting it back. She's a lifeless bitch with no high hopes of faith. Talking so much shit she needs a diaper duct tape to her face. I guess the moral of the story is don't worry about the hatred and lies. You got a family here and yes, we're still alive. I'm still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a smile on my face. Still alive, walking in the sunshine. And if I die, I'm dying with a smile on my face. And everybody out there better realize that you can kill me, but I'm dying with a smile on my face.
Depression can be dealt with in many different ways.
All right, everybody, back at it. Post politics. Oh yeah. Oh shit, hanging loose here. Oh man, you know we didn't even pull up like anything for articles yet, but I don't know.
Yeah, we don't need them. Don't worry about it. We're good. We keep it rolling. We keep it rolling. We don't need
Keep it
those
rolling.
fucking articles.
With our Johnny Republican stances tonight.
Yeah.
We
No,
really
I mean,
kinda-
because we have, but but here's the thing. Like I actually, even when we get into these conversations, right, I usually try and take a big stance on not like, listen, even though I'm saying this, like I really don't like Trump, like you know what I mean? Like we very much like, but I feel like at this point, like if you think that what I'm saying means I like Trump, then I suggest you go watch my last fucking whatever episodes are now on YouTube, or go listen to the replays on JRev, you know?
Well, we were also talking about, Crowder and Shapiro too. So it was like Shapiro was like, no, like I was a Ted Cruz guy. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Which
I
don't necessarily agree with Ted Cruz either.
That's but no, absolutely not. But that's going like, that was everybody. It's funny because we did call it out. And I know that we had conversations on it during that whole early, very late 2015, early 16 run of like, people started to drop off the fucking docket as far as presidential candidates were concerned and everything else of the like. And we were like, there was people like honk for Ted Cruz and da-da-da-da. And it's like those guys, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz attacked each other adamantly. And all of those people that were out there like holding Ted Cruz signs and shit in early 2016, it was like, dude, like you're gonna vote for Trump. You know what I mean? Like those people that
no, you're gonna vote for Trump, and then you're gonna be trying to defend it.
And the debacle that was the DNC this year. You had, I guarantee every last one of those. I mean, you might have had some Bernie. I know for a fact that there was Bernie supporters that ended up voting Jill Stein, but that is definitely not the fucking majority.
Yeah, no.
Like all of those people voted for Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean?
No, and I mean that's kind of the thing. I mean, and you look at this whole the racial divide that we were kind of getting into before we broke for break, right? I mean, you look at these things and I mean, dude, I'll watch these guys that are like now, and I'm not talking about your regular, like everyday conservative guys, right? I'm talking about your
Republicans.
Yeah, you're fucking devout Trump supporters now, right? Like those guys. The guys that fucking will sit here and talk about like, oh, well, nobody likes Trump because he's absolutely amazing. And then I go, what has he done? What has he done that was amazing, right? Like the only thing that I've seen him really do as far as policy goes. Now, I will say that today he was actually talking about putting through an executive order that would release the fucking would release the federal fucking Board of Education, the Department of Education, to the states. I'll tell you right now, if he releases the Department of Education to the states, I fucking, hey, dude, hey, more power to you. Thank you very much. That's fucking awesome.
I'm not doubting that there's definitely some major
I think there's things that he's going to do because he's open to suggestion more than other presidents were, right?
Well, not only that, but like I said, like in this modern day, it's such a big move and shake, scenario. Like any time that it does seem like way more drastic than it should be. And it's like, no, let me paint a fucking picture for you people. Is that we've let it get to this point for so long before anybody fucking really did anything about it. So it's like, yes, it seems drastic at this point, but in all honesty, if this was Reagan doing this, as much as people hated and loved Ronald Reagan, like if that was happening when we were kids, it would have been a much less big of a deal, you know what I mean, than it is.
Yeah, because well, I mean, now we've decided that I think what's hardest for me to understand, right, with the way that everything goes, is it seems like there's like this crazy fucking world that we exist in where you can hate all the things that your kids are taught, but
that
you
don't
can
make no sense.
where you can hate all the things that your kids are taught, but also at the same time hate when somebody gets rid of the Department of Education, and you're like, wait a second, do what? Wait, hold on.
Sweaty guy with the button.
Yeah, like it's the same. It's the same people that are like, hey, dude, I think everybody should turn in their guns and police kill fucking minorities all the time, and then police should be the only people with guns. And you're like, wait, I'm so lost as to what your fucking position is now. I don't know what the fuck you're saying to me. Like
both of these people, it's so inconsistent that it's, I mean, I would like to say that it's laughable. It's not.
No, it's laughable if hell in a handbasket, if you can find that fucking funny at this point, right? And so to me, like, yes,
that's what we
I
do.
can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, no, I find it funny because I can laugh at the chaos, right? Like I can sit back and go, right?
You're gonna lose your goddamn mind over it. Really, that's the next course of
like the Heath Ledger Joker said, right? Like the fucking some people just want to watch the world burn, right? And it's like I don't, but I do know how to sit back and enjoy a fucking good bonfire. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going. I didn't start the motherfucker, right? But I'll sit back and fucking laugh it up while it's going down.
This ain't my property.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't live on that corner. You know what I mean? Right. I'm over here.
It's like, so, don't get me wrong. If that bonfire gets out of control, man,
I'm gonna put that bitch out when it hits my property line. But
pack up my Ozark, fucking and leave. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like I'm not.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thing. Is that I'm like, all right, look, at this point, you can't deny.
I'll throw a pitcher of water too, okay? Just
no, I mean even then I won't throw a pitcher of water. I'll hand this dude I'm still sitting in my lawn chair, so I'll hand that guy standing up next to me a pitcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll take a scoop out of my ice chest, right? You know what I mean, and pass it to this guy. You know what I mean? But I'm not fucking getting up to put this shit out anymore because I already tried and you guys told me to sit the fuck down. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're too drunk, Zach. Fucking
exactly. Dude, you're talking that crazy talk. Why don't you sit down? You're like, okay. Right. Well, hey, remember when it,
and that's exactly
how it goes. 8 years ago when I said, hey, this shit is crazy and it's going to go down exactly this way. Well, now we're looking at Camacho in the fucking White Office, in the White House, and everybody's acting like I'm crazy.
You know how long it's been since we've even brought up that fucking realm of discussion for how crazy this country has been? Like, that was us talking about this 4 years ago.
Oh,
honestly.
Yeah.
Straight. That was us going, wait and see. Trust me, everything that we say. The only thing that we didn't get right was how much of the media, social media, etc. landscape would play in all of that. I think that that's really the only thing that we were like crying from the rooftops 2012, 2013 that was not you know,
I'll tell you, I didn't think Trump was going to be in office, right? I didn't think Trump was going to be in office. I really didn't. I really thought that it was going to be Hillary. But that was actually just a testament to how good they are at this, right? They knew, dude, you got to.
Russians too, you know.
No, but I mean, it was like, and the Russians. I mean, I didn't suspect the Russian Inquisition. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expects the Russian Inquisition.
The Inquisition. Oh man, I gotta pull that. Pull that. If you never seen History of the World Part 1, Mel Brooks is a fucking genius,
dude. No, and hey, even after that though, hold on. That actually, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. That quote is from Monty Python.
Yeah,
and the Spanish Inquisition, but even then, Mel Brooks and the History of the World is exactly they all hit on the same fucking point. Yeah,
right.
Which I will say while we're on the subject, Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles and the Birds probably, or it's not called the Birds. Fuck, what is Mel Brooks's version of the Birds called? It's not it's a fucking crazy term. No, it's it's a term for a fucking it's not Insomniac. I'm saying that, but that's obviously Dave Attell's show. But there's another show. Fuck, man. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking about this. But either way, Mel Brooks is fucking.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is like fucking just a mammoth of a fucking intellectual mind as far as making films, comedy, etc.
High Anxiety, dude. High Anxiety, Mel Brooks.
I don't know that.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it. It's his version of the Birds. It's fucking. I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, I don't know. I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. Me and my dad used to sit me down and watch Mel Brooks with me, which is a testament to how fucking wonderful a father I had.
Yeah. Oh, no, honestly, my dad was the same way, dude. Like my dad, like he sat me down, like, fuck, man. I was younger than my two oldest kids, and I was younger than that, and like that was the first time I saw Dice. You know?
Oh, dude, yeah. No, I mean, dude, one of the greatest things, and I don't know if I've ever told this story on the show before, but so one of the things that me and my dad used to do anytime that I was riding back with him, like, so anytime that I was sick, right, like, or that I faked sick not to go to fucking school, right, my dad would be like, hey, don't worry about it, I'll take him to work with me, right? And
right,
it was because when I was very, very young, my dad was a welder, and then when I got a little bit older, though, he was the manager of the welding warehouse and the parts warehouse. So he could take me to work, and he would like sit me down on the forklift and let me drive the fucking forklift around the fucking warehouse and shit. So it was like, yeah, why do I want to go to fucking school? I get to go drive a forklift around, right?
Yeah, fuck you.
Like, yeah, exactly, dude. I mean,
9 equals fun.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So I used to have a blast. And on the way home, my dad would be like, so what time do you think we'll make it home? Right? And so I'd guess a time. And then my dad though, my dad would always pick like at least 30 minutes over when he knew we would get home, right? Like he knew we would get home at this time, but he would pick 30 minutes over, and then he would take loops around the fucking neighborhood until his fucking time came.
Played the Price is Right game with you? Like,
yes, he would be like, so wait a second, what time do you think we'll be home? You know, and say I'm like 3 o'clock, and he would think 3:15. Well, he would say 3:45, right? And then if we were going to get there closer to my time, then he would take loops around the neighborhood until fucking it was closer to his time, and then turn around into like totally cheating. No, but what we were doing is that music on the radio would come on, a song would play, we'd listen to the song, and then my dad would go, now what does that song mean? And I'd be like, well, you know, and so then I'd talk about it, and he'd be like, well, kinda, but if you listen to what he's saying here, and you listen to what he's saying here, and then it would be a discussion that I would like start discussing ideas and things like that very much led to who I am today, like 100%.
Our dads fucking ruled. That's what,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. My dad died when I was 14 years old and still plays such a huge part on who I am today that it's amazing to me. Like, even to me, like, I'm like, there's no reason my dad should have taught me the shit that he taught me before I was 14 years old. You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I like everything that I have in life experience and gained and all that. Like there's no telling between my dad's work ethic and that kind of street smart shit. There's no fucking telling where I would be right now if I went without that. You know what I mean?
Oh, like yeah, dude. I mean, dude, it's crazy to me, like the degree in which, like, I mean, my dad, there was no reason that he would have thought that I would have needed to know, like, the street smarts that I know, right? Like, there's no reason. We lived in a nice neighborhood. We weren't, you know, I mean, like, I wasn't like, we weren't in the fucking middle of the ghetto type of shit, you know?
We're both brought up middle class kids, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And,
which are with our tinge of southern, you know, shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think we were both brought up middle class while knowing that the looming threat of lower class was there, right? You know what I'm saying? And I won't say looming threat as in like it was inevitable that we could go back to that, but it was one of those like, hey, yes, we're middle class, but we came from lower class. And we could be that any day, you know?
If it was our parents in 2008...
Oh, we would have been lower class.
There's no doubt that we would have had to take that dive into, like, all of this cool shit is going away.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, no doubt in my mind. Like, I mean, there really was. I mean...
I was just starting... You and I were both just starting fucking families when that happened. And
Yeah.
I went in a span of a year.
Dude,
I got married.
I came out of the military in 2009. I walked into the fucking crash. Like, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Me too. Like I got married and fucking got pregnant with Lily. And it was like, I mean, we didn't have a home. We had an apartment, and we also had more money than, like, what do you want to do? We can do anything we want to. What do you want for dinner? Like, well, let's get takeout, you know, and let's go spend this on that, you know, and like, we've never seen any of this kind of money before in our lives. From that era until the time, like I said, it's amazing what can happen because all of this happened in the span of Lily's conception, the conception of my firstborn, my daughter, into the time that she was born. We were fucking just broke as shit. You know, like cut between the time we got pregnant, me and my ex-wife both got cut down to part-time. We had to fucking move in with her parents. And I was like, dude, I was living with my fucking ex-wife's parents when Lily was born. And by the time when we found out the news that we were pregnant with her, I had more money than I knew what to do with. You know, like I've never had that amount of money before.
Yeah, no, dude.
It's crazy to think that 9 months, and that was during the 2008 election cycle. So it was like, you know, it's a whole other ball of wax when you look at, like, holy shit. Do you really have a backup plan, or are you just riding on easy street right now? Yeah. And if you're riding on easy street, don't get used to it, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Shit turn upside down at a moment's notice, bro.
Dude, it's not... Dude, I mean, and that really was the way it works. I just sent you a message there. You should probably check that out while we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely had no fucking clue that was the way. Like, I didn't know until fucking probably into my mid-20s to late 20s, early 30s that was actually something that my dad had taught me. Like, I didn't understand that my dad was teaching me things while he was teaching me the fucking understanding of fucking the meanings of fucking songs and how things work and things like that. I didn't understand that was a I didn't understand that was something that was going to affect me through life and the way I perceived the fucking world around me. I had no idea that was going to be a fucking thing. And it's one of those things that now I'm like, man, how fucking amazing is that I still can hear that man's voice in my head talking to me about songs like that and telling me like, hey, listen, you know, but you need to know these things. Like, these are things that, you know, and even then, like, we're listening to fucking Led Zeppelin or we're listening to fucking Tom Petty. There was a lot of Tom Petty songs. There's a lot of Tom Petty songs that were very much into the way you think and the way that you perceive the world. You know what I mean? And that was one of those things that were like, man, fuck, dude, I didn't know until, like I said, until I was in my late 20s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That I was like, oh, fuck, dude, Dad was trying to teach me how to deal with life, man, and I didn't even fucking know that, you know?
And a lot of that, I don't know if it was the same way for you. Like, I had the same conversations with my dad, and that was one aspect of it, but there was so much that I came by non-verbally, just being in situations and just being there in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was like that added to the street smart shit more than anything else, you know, where it was just like, you know, whatever, just how they were at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, this is how, and not to say that I mimicked that at all, but more so that I just paid attention to the interactions between people.
Yeah, no, I mean it made a man, it's weird. It's something that I know that I'm doing, like, that I'm instilling in. I know when I speak to my kids what I'm saying to them. Like, I know what I'm.
That's where I was going with
but
it.
But yeah, it's a, do you know, like, you wonder if that's going to be something that they think about when they're in their mid 20s or late 20s, right? Like, is that something that they're going to hit, right? And we don't know that. We have no idea.
Listen, there are kids, and that's definitely something that you and I are revisiting in our mid-30s now. So, like, in our mid-30s, we're still revisiting. I remember riding around listening to fucking AC/DC with my dad, and fucking, you know, I'll never forget when The Razor's Edge came out and when Thunderstruck hit the fucking radio. I was I was 6 years old. And, like, I remember it like it was yesterday, you know. And my dad had the tape the day it came out. They weren't even playing it on the radio yet. My dad, remember
listen to this shit. Yeah.
In December, the tape in my dad's F-150, old school F-150, fucking, when that record came out.
Yeah.
Like, it was yesterday. I remember it through. Listening to Thunderstruck, and I was like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, I remember
AC/DC, but I was like, that when Thunderstruck came out, dude, like that, it just changed the game.
I remember my dad approving Nirvana to me, right? Like, I remember him approving it and me thinking like, oh, these guys are as good as I think they are, right? Like I remember being like, no, I thought these guys were awesome, right? Like, and you know, fuck my dad, he doesn't really understand, but my dad talked to me about how this Kurt Cobain may be our Neil Young, right? Like
exactly.
And it was, which absolutely went down that way. But it was one of those things that where, like, you don't, I think that it's one of those things.
You don't think about that.
No, fuck no. Well, because you have no conception of what the fuck it'll be like when you're 30, right? Like, you have no fucking idea. And so I think that that's some crazy shit, and just something for us to all reflect on, really, as fucking parents and fucking grown-ups, is goddamn how much of an effect that the little bullshit that we think doesn't fucking matter as us, that little day-to-day interaction or that little whatever the fuck that I mean, and not to say that we don't think about those, because I do. I think about those when I'm having those interactions, even with my stepkids, on just a day-to-day little bullshit interaction that shouldn't mean much. I realize that in 20 years, that may be a big fucking deal, right?
Sure.
But I think it's just crazy when you look back at it and you're like, fuck, man. I think that there was that, like, well, we talked about it last episode, right? The effect of the whole idea that that our fucking parents kind of fucked it up. right? Like our parents kind of didn't fucking pay attention to what the fuck was going on, right?
Like I'm not gonna say that completely because
no,
I think
I don't mean our parents fucking
to a certain extent
specifically.
To a certain extent, we're stuck in that same sort of deal because as shit was changing socially for our parents, there's shit changing socially for us. But I think that the social change that was happening during our parents being young parents at the time is like how it's changing for us technologically.
Absolutely. And I think also there should be a consideration in the fact that a lot of our parents' generation is forcing our still generation into fucking wars, into perpetual fucking war, and forcing them so much into that, saying like those guys are fucking heroes, when our parents' generation should have already realized that that's not the fucking case anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
but that was like, so they were like very much like Cold War people, you know, people that were like,
yeah, absolutely. But they very much saw Vietnam. They very much knew what Vietnam was, and
that was when they were kids. Yeah,
absolutely. But
their first look at television was fucking Walter Cronkite telling them about fucking Vietnam while showing.
Yeah, no doubt. Because you got to, I mean, and a lot of people ignore the Korean War, right? Or forget about the Korean War. But
even our parents just like you've got to have, I guess you have to have like very much older parents if they remembered that, because that's
I mean, you're looking at the middle ground of World War II in Vietnam, right? That was like the you know, and so you got some parents that didn't hit it at all, and some parents that were very much a part of it, right?
Right.
You've got a middle ground in the generations.
Grandparents were born at the dawn of fucking World War II. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my grandfather was like basically, my grandfather was like hitting, about the same thing, about the dawn of, dawn of World War II. Yeah,
late 30s, early 40s. That's where my grandparents, come.
Yeah, they couldn't be drafted anymore into that. Yeah,
they were a little bit too old to be drafted to Vietnam.
Yeah, I know my dad, when my dad was talking to me about, and this is right, my dad was talking to me about military long before I was in the military. And he never was like coaxing me into, hey, go join the military. But him talking about, he was like, I wished I had joined, but I was a year behind the draft for Vietnam. And so I didn't get drafted in, and I wasn't going to volunteer to go in. So I just never went into it and blah, 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 blah. But my dad's best friend, and his name was Mickey, right? And he was a gunner on a helicopter in Vietnam. And this is a guy actually that I accidentally ran into when I was married to my ex-wife. We used to go to a little resort that her grandmother lived on a lake here in Texas. And as I'm driving by, we're driving by to go to the lake, to this little campsite. And I look out the window and I see Mickey, which is this guy that was my dad's best friend. So I knew him all through me being a kid, and then lost touch with him after my father passed away. And I see him standing out in this front yard watering his fucking grass. And I just stop the car and I get out and I open the door and I'm like, Mickey. And he looks over at me. He goes, fuck, Zach? And he was like, you fucking kidding me? And he was like, come here, man. And I run over there. And so for the next 3 or 4 years, dude, I used to stop by every year. And how you doing, Mickey, man? And we go out there and talk. But I mean, he was he was Arizona Razorbacks were his shit. Or Alabama Razorbacks. That was his fucking deal. And Arkansas, one of those with the A. All right. I don't watch college football. Yeah, we've already talked about that. And so one of those guys, big fucking hogs. Those guys. So anyway, but he was a gunner. So he was so anyway, he was a gunner on a fucking helicopter, man. And so me coming out of the military and then talking to him, we used to have crazy fucking discussions, and it was a really cool deal where he was like, man, and then you get to hear stories about your dad that you never heard from anybody else.
Those are always
and dude, which turns out to be cool when you're a crazy fuck. When you're a crazy fuck, it is so awesome to hear some stories of somebody who is best friends with your dad that was like, you may have never heard this story. And
like
you're
for
like,
me,
oh, yes.
My dad's still around, but I'm old enough now and I know enough people that grew up with my parents that was just like, I hear this story, so it's like, oh, and my dad's one of those will over sensationalize fucking everything. He's, you know what I mean? Like, that's him, but when you hear that shit from other people, it's like, oh man, dude, okay, and you're finally old enough to hear it or whatever from.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, dude, to me, like, my mother very much tried to let my dad die as an angel in my eyes, right? Like that kind of thing. Sure. So, like, I didn't even know my dad died with a DUI. Like he was in the middle of a DUI. Like he had gotten a DUI. Right. And like, but I didn't know about it, and I had no idea. Right. Like so it was one of those things that like I learned about way later in my life, and then start listening to stories that are going on. And I had only seen like maybe two times, I guess, my dad getting into a fight, like right in front of me. Right. That my mother was like, oh, Zach, come here, and grabbed me and kind of walked me away. Right. But like you start listening to like little stories of like your dad doing shit and things like that, and they're like, but it was those stories where you're like, wait a second, he wasn't like, none of these stories were like, hey, your dad's an asshole. It was like stories of like, hey, no, dude, like somebody fucked with me and your dad fucking ran over there and got involved, and it was really fucking cool. Right. But my dad never told me stories like that. You know what I mean? No, my dad never wanted to tell me about violent shit or anything like that because he wanted me to be different than that, Like, I kind of knew that, like, that's where my dad and his dad and my great-grandfather, who died before I was even born, especially, came from. I knew the history, but I hadn't heard a lot of the stories, but it's just... there's especially something in context about as you get older where you go like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that validates my feeling. Yeah, I mean, you start to really realize, like, like where you get certain traits from.
Right? Yeah, I'm not crazy that I come by this honestly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Nobody ever told you before. Once you are told about that kind of shit, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I get it now. Yeah. That makes sense that I did that. Yeah.
Right. No, and I was just loopy because nobody else gets me when it comes to this kind of shit. But
yeah.
As rumor has it, I come from a long line of crazy motherfuckers that do fucked up shit time to time.
Yeah, no, I mean to refer to a fucking corny fucking country western song, right? Like, you come from a long line of sinners like me, like that whole fucking song, and it's one of those, like, it's one of those, you start to realize, I think it's good for men to know when they get older, right? Like, hey, dude, like the things that you've got going on in your life, the things that are bothering you, the innate things that you want to defeat, right? Your father tried to defeat those things too, right? And it's not necessarily to say that those things beat you. It's not to say that they beat him. It's one of those things of like, I think that it's good to know that that's there, right?
Right. You know that this is the struggle of where you came from, and you are no different than that.
Yeah. So, no, and I think it makes it even better if you know that you've made that little progress towards it.
Exactly. That you've sort of been able to recognize it to a certain extent, do some self-therapy, and fucking, like, here's something that my dad fucking got wrong that I've got right when it comes to my birthright of feeling this way about whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is something, like my...
No, I think we actually stepped onto something in this conversation that we absolutely did not intend to. That fucking means so much more to both of us than we thought. Yeah.
You want to do an extra handful, or can you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, man, I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna hit a 3 minute. I'm gonna make myself another drink. We'll be right fucking back. And I definitely want to fucking keep rolling with that because we've got our own kids, and I got stories. I seen things.
I seen some shit. Yeah.
Right. So we'll be right back, everybody. More post politics coming up next. We'll go into overdrive a little bit.
Hello, can I speak with Bushwick Bill?
Hello, this is Bushwick. Motherfucking Bill.
Yes, sir. I'm calling to inform you that you've been drafted into the United States military.
The United States wants me for what?
Excuse me, sir. Bushwick.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
You need to contact your nearest recruiting office immediately, please.
I see you're not hip to what's happening. I don't give a fuck about you and all that bullshit you're stressing. Fuck a war. To explain, let me kick it to you a little something like this. Motherfucker war, that's how I feel. Sending a nigga to the desert to get killed. Cause two suckers can't agree on something. 1,000 motherfuckers died for nothing. You can't pay me to join an army camp or any other motherfucking military branch of this United goddamn States of that bitch America. Be a soldier what for? They put niggas on the front line, but when it comes to getting ahead, they put us way behind. I ain't getting my leg shot off while Butch show last on TV playing golf. But when you come to my house with that drive shit, I'ma shoot your funky ass, bitch. A nigga down for a brawl, but ain't fighting behind no goddamn oil. Against motherfuckers I don't know. Yo, Bush, I ain't your damn hoe. The enemy's right here, G. They're foreigners, they never did shit to me. All of those wasted lives, and only one or two get recognized. But what good is a medal when you're dead? Tell Uncle Sam I said. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war. In Vietnam, a lot of niggas died young. POWs got hung. What the fuck do I know about a grenade? All I know is the counts in my 12 gauge. And what if that pin gets stuck? Several more casualties show up. This should remind me of a drive-by. More motherfuckers die by accident than on purpose. Why? Because they don't know what they're doing. They see the coast is clear and they start pursuing. And that's when that movie tried to spring. Boom! Blow a motherfucker to smithereens. They send a sucker to your folks looking stupid. Tell them you died in the line of duty. Or your ass is missing action, bro. Trying to be a damn hero. They bring your folks that duffel back. The only shit they want to see is that doggy tag. Hoping that the whirring will cease. And your ass will still be in one damn piece. But my mom ain't got to worry about that day. Cause I ain't dying in the middle of nowhere. Another statistic about you in a drawer. Man, motherfucker war. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war. Y'all lucky that I ain't the president. Cause I'll put the fucking button, get it over with. Fuck all that waiting and procrastinating. And all that goddamn negotiating. Flying back and forth overseas. And having lunch and brunch with the motherfucking enemy. I'll aim one Miss Laddie right and blow that little piece of shit off the map. Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck who it is. Cause I'm tired of paying these high-ass gas prices. Only the rich benefit. It'd be a cold day in hell before I enlist. To eat shit out of can like a worm. And every day wear the same fucking uniform. Start breaking on my funky ass feet. Skin clothing cause I ain't so fast in weeks. Not knowing if I'm coming home or not. And if I do, I'll probably be shell-shocked. I couldn't get a job, just a free burial. You know how Uncle Sam treat his veterans. Absolutely no respect. Get a plate in your head, lose a leg, you might get a check. Or a goddamn star. You could have that shit, motherfucker war. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war. I ain't going to war for a shit-talking president. Fuck a war.
All right. We're back. Final segment. Bushwick Bill and the Ghetto Boys, straight out of Houston for that ass. Oh. By the way, I right quick, I gotta say, fucking, it's got nothing to do with where we're headed. And I want to continue on what we're headed, but so I walk out and
although also, and I realized that we didn't. Yeah, I mean, I missed your like straight out. Dude, goddamn, I love that song. But
yeah,
even more so proud that it comes out of Houston because it's
for
so
sure,
awesome.
for,
yeah.
So, but so I go out to make myself my final drink or whatever, and you just gotta like look at like when I met Brittany, I was just like, I don't care about anything else. I just want to be happy, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, you get divorced and you go through relationships and you do all that stuff.
Yeah.
and you have a kid with somebody and stuff unexpectedly too, and you kind of go like, I wanna be happy. Like that's all.
I just want to be fucking happy. I don't really care. Yeah.
I have somebody I can laugh with and hang out with and be with for the rest of my life and just be happy. Like nothing else really fucking matters. So she's drinking a beer, folding laundry, watching Encino Man. Now, while that might not mean
no, actually, to tell you the truth, that means a lot to me. Even I appreciate Brittany so much more right now. Yeah,
we could smell our own, you know. But that's why and Zach do a show together. But I didn't even have to say. I just drinking a beer, folding laundry, and watching Encino Man. I love you so much right now. You're so cute.
There's times when there are times when Sam, like, no joke, like, has a fuck you, you asshole to me, right? That I'm like, God damn, I love you. You're so fucking, you know what I mean? And it's not like a hateful, like, fuck you, I fucking can't stand you, you son of a bitch. Like,
you're on point.
Like, fuck you, you fucking sorry motherfucker. And I'm like, God damn it, I love you, you know? And like, normally my terms of endearment are like, hey, shut up, right? Like, hey, you fucking shut your mouth, all right? You know, and like, and those are normally my terms of endearment. Like I'm not to say that I'm not really good about fucking opening up about how I feel about shit. Like I'm really good at fucking, like, if I feel a certain way, I'll tell you immediately. Like I'm not bad about that at all, right? Like I've actually dated chicks that thought that I was like sappy because I would tell them how I felt about shit, right? And I'm like, no, I'm just telling you. Like I don't care how you feel about it. Yeah. Like I'm telling you because this is how I feel. If you don't care,
let my words and actions speak for themselves.
Yeah, if you don't, if this makes me seem like
I'm not playing the role of the sensitive guy here, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like no, I mean like, and so I've come to where
I'm unashamed, sir.
Exactly, dude. I don't have any shame, no shame whatsoever, not in this man. It's not gone, and I think that's another thing that I think that's something that like has been very cool with me and Sam has been that like to Sam it's been very much it was crazy. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was very crazy, and Sam will say like, man, it's crazy to meet somebody who seems so goddamn sensitive, but is so fucking hard as well. Like, right? It's not a like, nah, dude. Like, hey, dude, I'll put my shit on the line for any of y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are my shit, and I will not hesitate. And you can watch it happen over and over again.
And
but
not to say I'm not gonna do that. Right? Not say that I'm gonna do that with everybody I meet, but I go, you're my old lady, so like, I'm like comfortable being like the vulnerable. Like I want you to share.
Yeah, if I can't, to me, if I can't tell you how I feel, then what's the fucking point?
Exactly. Like you are there for me to share everything that I am with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't have to feel embarrassed or like I'm not being a man right now because when the time comes.
No, I mean that's kind of my thing, right? Like I'm not afraid to cry in front of her, but if I were to but if I don't, it's not because I'm afraid to. It's because of the fact that like listen, I'm not crying right now because I'm being strong for the both of us. Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like I'm being strong for the both of us. It's not because I'm afraid to cry in front of you.
As a fucking man, when it's like, okay, like we went through.
Yeah, it's okay to be weak right now. Yeah, it's okay to let her see this right now. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna, and I do that, but like, I'm not gonna put it all out there. But like, for instance, the past 72 hours with my son has been quite nightmarish, and it's just like, oh my god, like this is okay. Like we're gonna really have to rethink a handful of things that is going on with him, because not out of anything that we've done, just how fucking utterly insane our son is. You know what I mean? No matter what our best efforts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we've gone through that, and like we had this thing yesterday where Brittany was just beside herself, very upset, and she's like, how could I, blaming herself, you know,
because but that's also a man's position is to fucking step in there and hey, take that off of her. Yeah.
In that instance, I'm holding her going, it's this is not your fault. I know you feel very upset and shitty about it, but like this is, we're just going to have to take some precautions to some things because our son is a psychopath,
Yeah.
And
I think there's a certain, and not to cut you off, continue on the same thing, but I mean, I think there's a certain amount that and I'll say the third wave feminists, like I've never actually used that fucking term, but I will say third wave feminists for this because I think specifically I don't necessarily find anything wrong with actual feminists, not like I don't have anything wrong with actual feminists that believe that women and men should be equal. But I have a problem with the women that think that by equality it's meant for women to be superior, right?
Right, exactly.
And
same thing with our race relationship.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's like best man for the job. Period. Point blank.
I don't see. Hey, as far as a college transcript and a job application go, I don't see why race is even a fucking question. It doesn't even fucking matter. That shouldn't be there at all.
We've all been with women who are shitty fucking mothers.
Absolutely, they're shitty fucking wives. They're shitty fucking mothers. There's whatever the fuck.
And
to me, I don't think that. I think there's a lot of people that ignore when we're talking about gender roles that ignore the fucking weight that is on a man who obeys his gender role, right?
Perfectly pointed.
Hey, dude, if I put on my gender role, I'm not only responsible for your gender role, but I'm responsible for all of mine and all of yours. I'm responsible for, if you're fucked up about your gender role, I'm responsible for making you comfortable with that. And there's a lot of my whole fucking, your entire fucking mood, your entire fucking well-being is literally dependent on how well I manage my gender role. And that's something that I don't think people fucking realize.
No, it's lost amongst most people.
No, dude, if you feel bad, I failed at my job. And that's sucks.
The other thing, for me and Britt, as much of punks and metalheads as we are, we're still pretty conservative in the way that we are.
But that doesn't mean the same thing, right? It's not a conservative, I think, and the idea that
Yeah, I just mean the leaning on that sort of value of quote conservativeness is no, we're still uber liberal, artsy, creative people.
Yeah.
I do a video show. I like to create art. Brittany fucking paints and photography and
dude, I play video games, draw, and do graphic design. So we're very liberal, artsy motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're very creative fucking entities.
Yeah, now if you put me in a fucking conservative fucking right wing thing, I will tear your ass up on some construction too. It's one of those things. I think that what is fucked up about all of us, and I include Brittany in this just because she's your girl, right? Not knowing necessarily, I don't know Brittany very well. We've had very small, limited discussions, but I would say that ultimately, I think that the world is a little bit confused about people like us.
No, they have no. You're absolutely right. That's exactly where I was going. They have no fucking clue. They don't have any clue of wait. You you're in the art type world, but you guys also are
Yeah, I can go spend fucking 2.5 weeks at the Louvre in Paris and think it's amazing. Right, this is the biggest art museum in the world. I could get lost in this bitch. That's beautiful. But I can also go sit on a construction site, talk shit, and fucking sit out there and work my ass off till my knuckles are bleeding and everything else.
Right. You don't see that. Yeah, they have a bunch of ashy-handed white dudes with fucking little pencil fingers that fucking are the people that you're sitting beside.
If you're a fucking minority or a feminist that's actually siding with the fucking white dudes that are out here, I don't understand why these guys get it. Those guys, listen, those guys are the weak part of the species. Those guys aren't going to make it. They're not going to fucking live.
That's what I mean. You want to debate these liberal art students, and they're well, Nietzsche says, and it's well, let's talk about Nietzsche.
Hold on. Not even that, but Nietzsche would have called you a pussy. Even then,
and it's you think that I'm some fucking Neanderthal, just a gun-toting, Bible-holding Neanderthal that fucking just wants his guns and his meat. or whatever, and his fucking place in life or whatever, this white male privilege bullshit. But it's like, no, let's talk about this because I read these books, dude. I was reading Nietzsche fucking 17 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, I was reading Nietzsche, listening to fucking Marilyn Manson's Antichrist Superstar when I was 14. So don't give me that shit. Yeah, like I get it.
I'm not Johnny America for you. Just because I think that you're full of shit doesn't mean that you've got like this. And honestly, you see the fucking, like, if you were to even just present the fact that you know what the fuck they're talking about because they're like want to put that on you, is like, you see their fucking brains melt. You really do. Like when you talk to these people.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, I've watched so many times. Like here's the thing, and I will put this. I'm putting the guy on blast, but at the same time, I'm supporting him. So, Colin Christensen on Instagram, right? Now, I'm saying that he's also like, the guy's an artist, right? So the guy's an artist. Like, no, I mean, he does some amazing fucking artwork. So I will say, like, the dude does amazing artwork. He does sculptures. He does things like that, and they're fucking amazing, right? But he tends to post some very left-leaning shit. Now, in his defense, also, when I post my replies to that, like, he will discuss them with me, and he never fucking goes, "Oh, Zach, you're just a fucking, you're a fucking." He never does that. He's like, "Okay, I see where you're coming from, and I know you to be a reasonable man, so So we have very good discussions. I don't agree with him all the time, and he doesn't agree with me most of the time. But it's one of those things where I wish that people that were out there that had these different fucking ideas and things like that, I wish that we could all discuss things on those same terms.
Have those conversations.
Yeah, well, like I really appreciate those discussions, because it's like, fuck, dude, you don't have to agree with me, but if I know that you can at least conceptualize where the fuck I'm coming from without calling me a racist,
right,
it makes shit so much better.
I've listening to Rogan lately too, just some of the stuff that he brings up from time to time, where it's like, we really start to have to look, and I'm not nearly as enlightened as like Duncan Trussell and fucking Rogan, and they live in California and they get
and not only that, those guys actually have the entire time of their day to become enlightened.
Right.
Like, that's not even a fucking.
Exactly.
Not to say that you're not as enlightened as them, but just that they can spend 24 hours becoming that way. Yeah.
We are inundated with the fucking struggle of everyday life in a way that they are not, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And they admit that. Yeah.
But it's also like, I listen to those guys and I'm going like, it is true. I don't understand like how most people don't feel like this is a silly idea, to quote Rogan. It's just
it's just silly. It's stupid.
It's a silly idea to think of like where we're at. Like,
one man rules.
So you take
what, like 4.1 million? Is that what it is? I mean, where do we go with the American population? What is it? I may be way off on that number. Like, I'm terrible with numbers, but it's
are in America.
Yeah,
380 million.
380 million.
400 million to be.
To just round up, that's 400 million people, and you have one fucking orange-haired fucking toupee wearing dude that's in charge of all of them. And that, now when I say orange fucking skin toupee wearing dude, it sounds like I'm just taking a shot. What I'm actually saying is that you have a guy that's so concerned with his outward appearance that he should be in charge of 400 million people. Is absolutely insane, and that's what I'm saying.
It's a total egotist.
But I mean, that's an absolute just
the one thing
misconception of how the world should work.
But the other thing that I haven't heard Rogan say, but he kind of has alluded to, kind of how it should be, at least, isn't it silly we have one person, like, and this is the guy, and this is, or whoever it is at the time, making all these decisions for all these other people. But what he's really making a argument for, which is probably the best leaning libertarian voluntary stance, before what we eventually want to get through is like localize everything. Like most people don't have.
No, and he has said on multiple occasions, right? Like, there's no reason that a guy in Boston should be fucking making the decision on what a dude in Texas is doing with his life.
Absolutely right,
and that's not. Yeah, I mean it's 100% accurate.
There's no reason that somebody in San Antonio should be making fucking issue for somebody in Houston. You know what
absolutely. No, I mean, if you look at fucking San Antonio, dude, it lives on a different fucking world. Which, no, and actually, dude, you bring up an amazing fucking point on that, right? Is that, and actually, you couldn't be more accurate on it because of the fact that fucking San Antonio and Houston are so much different of fucking cities.
Right.
Is that no, I mean, there's no reason that somebody in San Antonio should be deciding on how someone in Houston should live their lives, because it is a completely different fucking culture. There is something that fucking, like, dude, it's the same reason why people in Houston and people in Dallas hate each other. Like, that's not even a fucking, like, for anybody that doesn't live in Texas, you don't understand. But listen, Houston and Dallas passionately hate each other. There's a reason why they canceled. We're not allowed to have tailgating in Houston anymore because during the Dallas Cowboys fucking Houston Texans game, there was straight riots. Like, they had to cancel it, and they were like, okay, we can't do this anymore because people from Dallas and people from Houston can't be in the same area.
Right.
They can't.
That's just sports ball fucking analogy.
Yeah, this is just crazy fucking football shit, right? Like, this doesn't even have anything to do with real life shit, right? Like, this is just now. Hold on. I just spent like 45 minutes telling y'all about how logical my father was, right? Now, hold on. This same guy that spit me all this logical shit also said, hey, those motherfuckers from Dallas, you fuck them. Those guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. Fuck them. They don't even know how to talk to people from Houston. They're a bunch of fucking ingrateful, fucking sorry sons of bitches. Fuck those guys. Right?
Like, I
was raised to think that Dallas were like a fucking. No, I mean, if I was a racist, those are the Negroes over there, right? Like, like, I mean, that's what Dallas was. Dallas was the those are the sorry fucks over there, right? We don't talk to those guys.
America's football team, the fucking Cowboys, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you mean that group of cokeheads over there and the fucking, you know what I mean? And that's the way I was raised. Is like, no, I mean, I was raised that way so much so that when the Oilers left, we rooted for anybody playing the Cowboys. We didn't we were like, hey, we don't have a team, so I'm a fan of anybody playing against the Cowboys.
To revert all that back around, that's even within your own state, which you you needn't look any further than fucking football rules to fucking find out about like why even within the same state certain people shouldn't advocate legislature or a way of doing things. You know, I live fucking 20-30 minutes outside of Orlando. Orlando has nothing to do with what the fuck's going on in my town. Like, really? Like, that's a whole other world. It's a whole other world.
Yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, I mean, I don't live in Florida, but I can assume because I know that if I go to fucking Conroe, which is like Greater Houston area, even it's just outside of Houston, those people are different.
Orlando.
Yeah, those people are completely fucking different than people in Houston.
Absolutely.
And I think that for anybody that lives in a greater metropolitan area, you should understand that it's crazy that those people that live outside of, if you live in fucking Chicago, everybody in Illinois should not be able to decide how the fuck you live.
Fucking 95% of Illinois is not. And I've been there. I've never even been to Chicago.
Yeah, but 95% of Illinois is not Chicago. Yeah.
I've been to Illinois that is anywhere other than Chicago.
I got lost in a. How about this, dude? Just to fucking see a stretch of how different the fucking world is, right? I got lost in Afro Man's fucking Instagram.
Okay.
All right. The dude's from Oregon. All right.
Right.
His entire fucking Instagram is of him and old white women that raised him. Right? Like it's not a fucking right. Like you don't understand the differences in the way that people are raised and where people come from and how things like that fucking play into who they are as human beings.
They manifest.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like, this is a dude that wears a constant afro, a big ass beard, and a pimp suit on a regular basis, but he was raised in fucking Oregon. Listen,
Right.
by all definitions, I'm blacker than him, right? By everything besides my fucking complexion, right? And so it's one of those things that where you go to the fact that you're like, wait a second, so we should be making all of these decisions based on fucking what people look like? That's insane. That's fucking crazy. And that's where it comes to the point to where, like, listen, Donald Trump is not a representative of the white fucking race. There's no fucking, Obama is not the representative of the black fucking race. That's not how this shit works.
Collectivism has been the fucking combining factor on all of this shit for too long. It's only been a handful of years, honestly.
No, I mean, I would say it's been in the better part of a decade. And now listen, yes, that hits Obama, but what I'm saying is that doesn't, I don't mean that to be it's Obama's fault. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that us as Americans and us as people that live in this generation, we have made that our fucking calling card. We've made that our fucking thing, and it shouldn't be. There's no reason as to why. Like, here's the deal, dude. I think that there is a good handful of white people that fucking suck. Like, there's so many fucking white people that, please, dude, do not associate me with you. Please don't. Please don't. Whether it be that you're a pussy or a racist, one or the other.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to be associated with the fucking uber racist fucking KKK pro-Nazi shit as much as I don't want to be associated with the I take it in the ass by a black man.
Yeah, because I know that there were men that looked like me that had slaves. Like, nah, dude, listen, I don't apologize for that. I didn't have anything to do with it. But I also
just so I can feel better about being a white person.
Please fuck my wife, dude. Please fucking no, dude, no, don't want nothing to do with that.
I don't want I don't want nothing to do with anybody from either fucking
hey, listen, dude, you fuck with my family, I'll kill you like I'd kill you as if you were a white man. I don't give a fuck. Race has nothing to do with that shit. And that's what fucks with me.
Are you an asshole? No.
Well, I mean, you look at that same
we have the potential to be best of friends if you're not an asshole.
Dude, that same misconception. Do you know, I mean, and being from Texas, right? I have that same misconception that's like regularly, dude. I have Mexicans that are like, well, listen, I'm 100% Mexican. And I'm like, well, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean by Mexican, right? Because Mexican's not a race, that's a nationality, right? So there's Mexicans that are lighter complected than I am. There's Mexicans that are whiter than me. So wait, are you actually? Yeah, you know what I mean. They call them Wedo. Like, I don't know if you ever fucking, you know what I mean. Like, so don't say that shit to me. I know exactly who the fuck they are. I was raised around Mexicans my whole life. So when you sit here and say like, oh well, you know, I'm Mexican, so I was, and you're like, nah, dude, Mexican's not a race. That's a nationality. That is a nation you're from. So if you ain't never lived in fucking Mexico, guess what? You're not a fucking Mexican. That's the way it goes. And I think that's something that we've all decided to draw our lines on this weird nationality, racial, like it's such a weird fucking thing.
To put it in perspective, especially for us, is like the predominance of our nationalities is Irish.
Yeah.
You and I both are fucking predominantly
dude
Irish.
And if I hit a 23andMe tomorrow and it told me something completely different, guess what? It would have no effect in the way that I judge anybody. And the reason being is because I have nothing invested in that.
Right.
Like I have nothing fucking invested in the way I feel about people.
At the end of the day, it's like that is our heritage.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, you know, so you could say it that way. Like, that's our heritage. So, yeah, we obviously, you know, St. Patrick's Day is done bigger on this show than probably any fucking where else.
Yeah, I'd have to say at least 90% of the shows that are done out there.
All right. So, yeah. So, like that's where we come from with it, because that's our. But it's like we're not going to sit here and say we're Irish.
No,
yeah,
and I know because, hey, dude, when I was in Europe, motherfuckers that if you told a European dude you're Irish, he'd tell you to fuck off.
Some real fucking mix would fucking stomp.
No, fuck off, dude. You're an American. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're American with Irish descent. So it's like, if there's anything less than, just gratitude, if you happen to be partying.
Can I take a fucking pause and appreciate that my wife just came in here and had me open a fucking jar for her? Just stopped. I just stopped and smiled because she just walked in.
What was it? Like, pickles? Was it pickles?
No, it was hot sauce, right? It was some salsa, some picante, right?
Salsa. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she walked in and just handed it to me, and I was like, and handed it back to her, and she was like, "Thank you, baby," and like walked out, and you're like,
I got some takeouts that I made some last.
Oh, dude,
about to get dag nasty with.
Listen. Sam got fucked up with me the other day because she brought some tamales home, right? And I'm telling you right now, listen, dude, being from fucking Texas and Mexican food, there's an amazing fucking thing that goes on with there. Like that, dude, that culture, like, listen, don't ever make some fucking racist bullshit go so goddamn deep that I'm not allowed to fucking love Mexicans anymore, because that is some beautiful shit right there.
That's the only thing that's missing. Listen, that's the thing that's missing in my life. I've had authentic California Mexican food.
And as good as Tex-Mex.
I've never had true Texas fucking Mexican food.
It's amazing.
I know.
It's amazing. Well, I mean, the problem with California Mexican food is that they would rather stack pico in there than flavor. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, well, yeah. No, I mean, it would be awesome if you put more beef in it, but we would rather just put a bunch more tomatoes and onions in it.
You're not even speaking my language because I don't even know. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
But
dude.
I'm desperately wanting to have a Texas Mexican.
Dude, I can accidentally walk on the best taco fucking place in the world. Like I can just accidentally, like just fucking walking down the street. And some dude's like, "You want some tacos?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." You know what I mean? And like, boom,
give me everything that you have.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, dude, every now and then Sam comes home and she's like, "Hey, I got some tamales. You want some?" And because of the fact that we both love Mexican food so much, that it's like, hey, if I run across a random fucking taco stand, I'm gonna hit that bitch up and see how their tacos are.
Yeah, it's just there's a handful of things that I get into. Like, for me, I've been reverting back to fish just because of diet and stuff like that.
You know what's fucked up is like people do that whole oh, well, what has American food ever brought? Or Irish food even. Hey, listen, dude, I don't know. Cabbage is garbage. I don't even like cabbage. I hate fucking cabbage. I think it fucking sucks.
I like stuffed cabbage.
Oh, I know, stuffed cabbage, but I mean, stuffed everything is usually pretty good, right? So I can't even fucking argue for that. So, but I mean, like, but Mexican food, dude, Mexicans fucking corner the fucking market on that shit. Oh my God. And it's pretty much all the same shit. Tacos, meat, and cheese. Right? Like, it doesn't matter.
Listen. I cook American, and you guys know this. I love to cook.
Cooks his ass off. Yeah.
If I don't fucking eat anything off of it, I'm like, what do you think about this? And I love cooking Italian, Mexican, and fucking Asian dishes.
Oh, dude.
Anything.
Listen, the other night it was, and now I'm completely fucking sober, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Zucchini fries and the whole fuck.
Dude,
I cut them up like
2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. I'm just fucking stone cold ass sober. 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, I want something to eat. I know we got some tamales in there. So I go in there. I peel me open fucking 6 tamales. I peel open the tamales. I throw the tamales in. I grab me some Mexican rice. I throw that in. I throw a little small amount of beans in. I grab me some white queso. Throw that across the top.
Son of a bitch.
I chop them all up. mix it all up real quick, and then throw some shredded Mexican cheese, like Kroger brand, fucking, you know, whatever. Dude, I walked back in here. I walked back in here, and Sam was like, I thought you said you weren't making any food. And I was like, I didn't. I just grabbed everything in the fridge, right?
Right. I decided to make a whole gang of shit.
Dude, I'm sitting over here eating it.
I'll look Brittany in the eye and go, "You're not," and don't even think you're getting.
Dude, Sam Sam grabbed that shit, took a bite, and was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yeah, I just did that." Yeah.
You thought you got it all twisted.
Oh, dude, sit down. Yeah, calm down. I got this.
All it takes is a desperate hour of the night for us to fucking become culinary. Yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I think that there's a certain fucking
hour, between the hours of 10 and 2, I'll
own the kitchen. Don't put me in that motherfucker. Yeah.
Chef Ramsay all goddamn day and night.
Dude, I'm telling you right now that fucking Chef Ramsay couldn't be Chef Ramsay without marijuana. I believe that. I don't know. He's never said that he did it, right? Like he's never openly admitted to it.
I don't even know if I could be Trip Pugh without that. As far as
I mean, I gotta. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that I couldn't have came up with tamales, rice, beans, queso, and some shredded cheese if it hadn't have been for marijuana. Like, I was sober, but at the time I was like, no, I know what works.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. And dude, I was that guy. Like college, I was like, dude, say how much. All I have to know is how much money do we all have.
Yeah.
You tell me how much money we all have that you're willing to put forward for a fucking gimmick. How many people we got here? 4, 5, 6? Okay. We got 5, 6 people. Fucking and $20. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, no, and I mean, hey, look, dude, fuck you. I will make ramen a game changer, I promise you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
go fuck yourself. I got your back, homie. And
Yes.
You're gonna be for that shit tomorrow. Like, what was that recipe? And I'm like, I don't know, but I fed 6 of us for $20.
Yeah.
And we still got some leftovers.
Yeah,
you know,
and it was the best meal you ever had, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Go fuck your mother.
All right. We got to go out of here on that. Yeah.
We're out on that. All right.
good.
Much love. Peace out. We'll catch you guys Wednesday night. So
yeah,
it's been politics, people. Thanks for joining us.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's